Peace, peace, peace. Go ahead and get this out of the way. Let's see how people enjoy their Friday today. Today Friday, right? Let's see how people actually truly enjoy their Friday. What do I mean by that? Today Friday, so 9 times out of 10, you getting off work, you just got paid, yada yada yada. But you on TikTok, you see something you don't like, and you gonna stop and say something. I'm just waiting. I know they will. But for those that know, peace. What's going on? How y'all feeling? Peace, peace, peace. What everybody got going on today? So, you know how we were talking about the archetypes, and how the archetypes already exist inside of us. Archetypes meaning primordial images, energies, or the essence of something that you access right now. The things, what you find in the symbolism in today. So in Gnosticism, you got the archetype of the father and the mother. They call it Barbello. But the father is seen as a luminous spiritual water, and the mother is the Barbello is supposed to be the image of this. And synonymously, these archetypes or these energies are supposed to exist as aeons. And an aeon is like a realm that exists for a long period of time. And within these aeons, they have sub aeons. Like within the Barbello, you have foreknowledge. So this is something that exists inside of us: incorruptibility, life eternal, truth. Um, all of these things exist inside of us, outside of um, what society has told you, and outside of where society tell you have to go seek this. Society gives you a son, religion. They give you a son, Jesus Christ. The Gnostic interpretation of the Jesus Christ is the self-created autogenius, or the Christ. It said the Father gazed into Barbello, which is like gazing into yourself. The Father gazed into Barbello, and she conceived by him. She was conceived by him. Um, she gave birth to a spark of light similar to the Father's light. This was the Son, the celestial Son, who was called the autogenous. Autogenous means self-created. Now, this is supposed to be some sort of a cosmic creation. Now, drop the frequency down to the physical level. You still self-create yourself. And it goes on and on and on and on and on to the actual fall of what we call Sophia, or what everybody be saying now, nine ether. Nine ether is that primordial substance, or the great mother substance, responsible for creating the demiurge, a lesser being that created the physical material universe. Like, you want to become the Pajeridamus. In the Bible, they give you Adam and Eve and Adam, whatever, right? But in Gnosticism, we had Pajeridamus, Adam the stranger, holy Adam, old Adam, or the perfect human. The perfect human will be someone that is aware of all of these functionings inside of their body. It's funny that you asked that question because an individual like that is born off a patriarchal mentality and a patriarchal society, which we live in right now. So stop and ask yourself for a second. When you was born, did I come out of my dad or did I come out of my mom? Yes, it took both, but did I come out of my mom or did I come out of my dad? You feel what I'm saying? And then ask yourself everything they're doing to the divine feminine, to the woman, period, in the world right now. And then ask yourself that question. Everything that the world deems evil, right? Literally is tapping into the divine feminine aspect of what that is. Because it takes both masculine and feminine, positive and negative. Negative. Why is the feminine negative? Because you cannot see what's going on in the inside of that. But you see the male. The male wants to be seen. It's an egotistical energy. It wants to be seen. It has to be in your face, the positive aspect. What you see around you, creation, light. But the hidden aspect, the force that pushes it out, is the darkness. I mean, I really don't take no disrespect, to be honest. We don't really know each other to be disrespectful to each other to begin with. I'm just letting you know. The reason why you told me what you told me is because the Baphomet is up there. This is up there for individuals like you that would come in and say things like that with the lack of understanding. Gnosticism, right, comes from the Nag Hammadi library, Coptic Egyptian, which they already had the plagiarized Bible, what everybody say, you know what I'm saying, later day. But when this was found, these were the what they call them, the Dead Sea Scrolls. So these were the other books inside of the Bible that were supposed to be in the Bible and more deeper understandings of what the Bible is. So, they still had to take things out, yada, 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 or whatever. But this gives you a good understanding of what's going on here. Those individuals, the Gnostics, because it was Jew Gnostics, it was Islamic Gnostics, it was all type of different Gnostics. Gnostic only means gnosis, you know? So it's a dual aspect to look at any type of system. These individuals, the same God that we call God, Yahweh, Jehovah, whatever, they looked at that entity as what you would call the devil now. They understood it the same way you understood it to be what it is. It created, it did all this or whatever, but they looked at that as the actual devil. That's the Gnostic interpretation. I didn't write it. The best black satanic magic book of all time. I don't know. Tell me. When you guys ask me questions like that, it gives me the interpretation that you feel like that I'm just out here. I got candles, like black candles all around, and I'm cutting goat heads off or something like that. I'm not with none of that. It can be dangerous to look inside of your mind and see what you actually are. It can be very dangerous because if you don't have a clear mind and a clear head of what you really want to do or whatever, you can go crazy, and some people do. But the ones that truly want to seek the truth inside of self, it's not about the reality. Most people are caught up in Hollywood, as well as the religion and society. They didn't made it Hollywood. So we're looking for something else outside of ourselves or whatever. But the most beautiful thing and the greatest knowledge you can find is inside of yourself, inside of your heart. And why that sounds crazy, like I'm just saying anything, whatever. Ask yourself, who am I really? Am I? No, I'm not. I deal with code knowledge. That's pretty much it. The movies told you that occultism was just, I guess, you dealing with the devil and all of that stuff, whatever. But has anyone ever sat down and actually studied what that truly was? Occultism or occult just means hidden knowledge. And like I said many times, a metaphysician would be the same thing as an occultist. The only difference is a metaphysician will say that all this stuff is true based upon them studying and cross-referencing and doing all of that. But a occultist is more of a spiritualist. So, we meditate, we take these practices in, we deal with the herbs, we do all that or whatever, and based upon our experience, that's how we deem it being real. No, man, I'm on the path of life to understanding myself. In the physical reality, we're dealing with polarities. So it's gonna be a left hand path, it's gonna be a right hand path. It's gonna be a cause for darkness in your life, it's gonna be a cause for light in your life. Always. So in ancient Egyptian mythology, we have the term Mayat, balance, truth and harmony. So with all of that, with the darkness that's gonna come your way, with the light that's gonna come your way, right? Or how you project it or whatever, because we all do this. You have to find some form of harmony and some form of balance in that. You know what I'm saying? Within yourself to be able to embrace yourself and deal with it all. You know what I'm talking about? Because when we can't deal with certain things, we create certain idols that we don't it may don't feel like we worshiping it, right? But if this is how you project yourself, this is an idol that you worshiping. Basically, what do I mean by that? All the different egos that we create to protect who we truly are on the inside. We don't gotta talk about it or whatever, because that's something that we really don't want to talk about. But we do know that it's a side of ourselves that we don't show the world. You know what I'm talking about? And the side that we utilize, that we actually show, I'm telling you now, you utilizing that to protect that side that you don't show. The only way life will actually get better is if you show the side that you try to hide from everybody else. This is dealing with your shadow. The side of yourself that was denied, that was denied from you, or you denied yourself of. The things you want to do, the things who you are, you know what I'm saying? Where you like to be, who you like to be, you know what I'm saying? Who you like to be around. All things like that deals with you, that was denied, that you denied, that society didn't allow. When you were a kid, you were a certain way, right? And as you get older, certain things become looked at as negative, right? So you hide that aspect of you. And when you become an adult, you continue to hide that aspect of you. That's your shadow. Now, ain't nothing wrong with your shadow. I'm saying deal with it. The more and more you don't deal with it and you neglect it, the more dangerous it can be, right? Because you're unaware of what's going on literally in your subconscious. People be like, I've been having nightmares. In all actuality, those demons or whatever that's chasing inside of your dreams be aspects of yourself that's damaged and unhealed. That's just trying to get in contact with you. When you say magic, right? I don't really know what you mean, because my interpretation of magic could probably be something different from what your interpretation of magic is. When we dealing with magic, some people probably think we talking about that shit you see on TV. But when I'm talking about magic, I'm talking about mental manipulation, making a conscious shift inside of your mind. Dealing with your imagination, visualization, being able to see things with your physical eye by way of your third eye in the physical as well as the spiritual. I mean, that's magic to me. and everything else that comes with that. It is too powerful for us. Let me see. Let me see something real quick. It may be too powerful for you. You know, you can't speak for we. You only got to speak for me, and me means you. No, see, listen. I'm gonna tell you this right now. In the books, right? Certain individuals in these magic books, right? So it's set up like that for certain individuals. Now, certain other individuals are a little bit more advanced. You get what I'm talking about? Like they will tell you to get some salt and cast a little circle or whatever to protect yourself when you're trying to summon some spirits or whatever, right? Some individuals don't need to do that. Some individuals do it with their third eye. You know what I'm talking about? And look, we caught us one. What do you think? What do you think you're doing when you drop those type of comments? You think you're doing some great work? I gotta continue rolling on my blunt. But yeah, that's why it's like that. And all of those books were really just grimoires from either societies or certain occultists that back in the day. That's it. It wouldn't matter if we was in here talking about Jesus Christ or not. Earlier, I was just talking about Christ. Where were you then? It wouldn't matter if I was just talking about that. If I just got on here and just said, "Hey man, I just saw Jesus Christ and he came to me in my dream," you would still throw up what do you call that, crosses or whatever, throw the same little emojis or whatever, and be like, "Oh, you a demon, you a demon, you a demon." You guys sit around and wait for Jesus, God, or whatever to come to you or whatever. But when somebody comes and says, "Hey, I actually experienced this and I saw this or whatever," you find it crazy. And what are you talking about? What is disrespect? What do you listen? I got to get you out of here because you just said anything now. Because what is disrespect? What do you mean? But look, y'all see that though? I don't have no beliefs. You feel me? Look, let me tell y'all something really crazy. You got, I don't know why, because it's the same thing to me. But when they break it down like this, it's not. So when I was doing a little study on magic, they was talking about black magic, they was talking about white magic. White magic would be those that would be like, if somebody's dealing with magic, they'd probably be dealing with that probably. The lighter version of it. Dark magic would be probably the, quote unquote the scary shit. So but they said that the sacrificial aspects of it, it comes in the white magic. Those are the people that's dealing with the good shit, quote unquote, or whatever. But they'll sacrifice a little animal, a kid, and shit like that, or whatever. People that deal in dark magic or things like that in the dark nature, or whatever, is not trying to sacrifice another person. That's what the movies then showed you. You feel what I'm talking about? We understand that the power lies within. That's why any individual that's talking outside of religion is going to always tell you to go within, because what that means? I mean, the power is inside of you. I think Hinduism is nice. Yeah, like blood, your own blood. Why would you listen? We talk about we talk about chi, we talk about prana, we talk about ashe or sekhem. All these different things just mean like a spiritual energy. You know what I'm talking about? All that exists inside you. People that pray, people that meditate, people that's living this holistic life or whatever. In subtle ways, they're building that type of energy up inside of them, or whatever, right? Blood sacrifices. That energy is inside of your blood. Why would you take somebody else's blood? Look at what you are doing and look at what the next individual is doing. The other like the people that's dealing with the other forms of magic, they don't really too much care about that. You know what I'm talking about? But an individual that's dealing with this this dark side. Remember I told you your shadow, That's what we're talking about. We're talking about the shadow aspect of you, or whatever. So when you're dealing with the dark side, you're going inside of yourself. So you really want to deal with any and everything that's only dealing with you. Even when you looking at the different spirits or whatever, you applying it to yourself, because all these archetypes, they exist inside of your subconscious. Oh man, I don't know, Jesus. I don't know. I gotta get you out of here. But yeah, that's all. I don't have a religion. I find it funny and weird that every day an individual will get up here and, and ask me the weirdest questions. All you gotta do is listen. Catholics have a church too. They might do, you know what I'm saying? But guess what? That's none of my business, you know? And if you don't get involved in it, it's pretty much not none of your business neither. That's what this is all about. Truly, how I feel about anything is that there's an esoteric way and an esoteric way to look at it. Meaning there's a light way to look at it and a dark way to look at it. And another way to say it is like there's a way to look at it on a public scale as far as political, local, or whatever you know what I'm saying? And then there's another way to take it and personally understand the information and be intimate with it. You know what I'm saying? And got a thing called eschatology. So it's end time events. So when you look at the scriptures and the text or whatever, and you apply it to yourself and your actual life, and pay attention to your dreams and all of the signs that come up in your waking life or whatever, you will start to be able to correlate the quote unquote mythology with your actual life and what's going on in your life. That's pretty much what we're doing. All we're doing is having an experience. That's it. Probably not. That it really doesn't sound familiar to me. I just thought you was somebody else I knew for a second. But yeah, y'all, we living in an information age. You know what I'm saying? So like, the age of Aquarius is the age of information, sharing information, um, utilizing information. This information is supposed to be just it. Knowledge is just information if you do not utilize it. It becomes wisdom then once you apply it, and then once it shapes your life for whatever it is you're looking for, that becomes your actual understanding. And then you have deeper, oh, you have an understanding, overstanding, all that, but really you just want to get a better awareness of who you actually are. So, like, look, right? This is why I say this, because it really don't matter what you believe. Now, personally, I have no beliefs because to me, my opinion in the word belief or in the aspect of belief is that it's an assumption, right? And to assume is to really not know, for real, for real. And what I'm saying is know thyself. And that's the best thing that you can know. Nobody can take that away from you. Anything you do know, nobody can take that away from you. But in the reality that we live in there right now, some of us like to feel like we live in a matrix, right? So what's really real? Unless we experience it inside of ourselves, right? So you have people that will come up here and ask so many different questions as far as not understanding what this is and whatever. You don't have to deal with this. You don't have to deal with anything, right? But you have individuals that know. You have individuals that know about black magic. You have individuals that know about this type of magic. You have individuals that say, "Hey, we finna take the plan back, or we finna do all this." It's so many things going on, being talked about or whatever. How many of us know about ourselves? How many of us want to hear about gaining information on trying to figure out who ourselves is? You feel what I'm talking about? Versus a nigga telling you who you are. You know what I'm talking about? So many years, people come, and that's cool because they come with information. But what we fail to do is we fail to do we fail to not be too attached. We be attached to these people. It don't matter who it is. You get what I'm saying? Because we've been given a figure to look for and to look up to or whatever, right? Any individual that comes and try to quote unquote save us or, you know what I'm saying, free our minds or free us or whatever, you know what I'm talking about, becomes that quote unquote idol. What they're all saying is go inside of yourself. What they're all saying is go inside of yourself. You feel what I'm talking about? That's it. That's all. It's I know it. I know it be confused. It don't matter. It don't matter if you like. Oh, okay, I see what they talking about. I see what they saying. I see. That's fine and dandy. But it's other things that's going on in the world around you in your little vicinity. You know what I'm talking about? Your circumference. That's important to you for you to get on that level. You feel what I'm talking about? To get in this quote unquote fight that you're ready to fight. They be geeking our heads up. You feel what I'm talking about? And what you call that? They be definitely raising up the vibration. But that don't mean nothing when you just sitting there watching it and you like, all right, that's cool. That's some hot shit. And I'm finna go lay down. I'm finna go do what I do. You know what I'm talking about? Look, whatever you do, you make it divine. We got a funny thing about being conscious. You know what I'm talking about? When we become conscious of who we were back then or whatever, ooh, that's just beneath me now or whatever. Listen, watch this. When niggas be gang banging, and they be like, I'm finna pour this something out for the homies or whatever. That's a form of libation. That's a form of libation that you pour into the spirit. But see, we have lost the understanding of that. But subconsciously, it's still inside of us. So everything that we do, all of what we do, is divine. You feel what I'm talking about? Well, where's the conflict? The conflict is the dualism in it all. The dualism in it all is we feel like we just, we all separate. First and foremost, we definitely is all one. But because we looking at it like this and wherever we having this experience or whatever, when somebody's having their own individual experience or whatever, if it doesn't if it's even if you find 10 people that agrees with you, right, and it's somebody else that disagree with you or you disagree with them and we feel the need to impose on them, we got to argue with them. You feel what I'm talking about? That's not what it is, because how is that helping either of us? Mind you, we have something called the Akashic Records. The Akashic Records is like the universal computer of everything, you know what I'm talking about, with us, that's connected to us. Our subconscious mind is like little semi parts of that, right? Semi aspects of the Akasha. We go into our dreamland or whatever. It's the same thing. We get to experience who we was in different mini versions of ourselves, right? That's what we're doing when we go to our dreamland, and when we come back. So when we come back up here to the waking land or whatever, and we having this experience, if our mind is, you know what I'm saying, clear, and we quote unquote have positive thoughts, it's a good thing to have positive thoughts, right? Why? Because your mind is magnetic. And all of what you think about or whatever, your subconscious mind is trying to answer those questions for you. You know what I'm saying? So the more and more you focus on whatever it is, you know what I'm saying, the more and more your mind will reconstruct that for you. So why is all that important? Because what is society doing? It don't matter who it is in society. They distracting you from who and what you is. You know what I'm saying? They can be like, you a God, you a God, you a God. But I'm telling you, you a God, go inside your mind, God, because, hey, what's inside of your mind can be different from what's inside of my mind. You know what I'm talking about? It could be the same aspect, that's cool, but personally, who are you in the past life previous to this and before and so on? You know what I'm talking about? Who are you to be? You know what I'm talking about? Because Elijah Muhammad always said, you got to know where you came from to know where you're going. You get what I'm talking about? That's why it's always good to understand the ancestors and get tapped into your ancestors. Your ancestors is the forefront of your power when you tap into the spiritual realm. You get me? But ain't nobody telling you that. They telling you we finna fight, we finna do all this, we finna do all that. Hey, look, man, what the government been doing to us for the last past however many years? Yeah, we know we gods, that's fine and dandy. They knew we was gods too. You see the weapons that they had, that's cool. They got other guns, electromagnetic guns. Why do they got that? Because they know we electromagnetic beings. They know what's going on for real, for real. How do we prepare ourselves? We got to go within, tap into our chakras, but deal with your shadow. Because that's who you truly are. The person that you hide from everybody. Deal with your shadow. Deal with your chakras. Oh, but we got more chakras. We got this. That's cool. You got 7 main chakras. Get past those. Get over your shadow. Get over yourself. Get over your ego. I gotta eat right. Listen, don't even think about eating right yet until you got your mind together. Because it starts there. You gotta want to do it. You gotta have a desire for it. You know what I'm talking about? You gotta have some form of dissatisfaction to be able to want to change that. So that's why a lot of times the things that goes on in society that is a form of a distraction or whatever needs to happen, because some individuals see that, and that's that spark inside of the heart that gives them the desire to be like, you know what, they got me fucked up. I'm finna go out here and I'm finna make whatever we want to call a change is. You know what I'm saying? But it starts from within. You know what I'm talking about? And you usually an individual don't make an impact until they make an impact on themselves. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to make an impact on the world. But you got to make an impact on yourself, because you are a semi-world. Somebody said Mother Earth earlier. The nations of gods of Earth, which is the 5%ers or whatever, they like to say that the males are gods and the females are basically the earth. But we all, your body is an earth within itself. You know what I'm talking about? Every star and moon and planet or whatever is the same electron, neutron, and atom inside of your body right now. So learn how to maneuver those. Learn how they work inside of your body, and you understand how they work outside of you. We was already taught semi in school already. Some of us didn't pay attention because some of us didn't care, because some of us already knew. When the ancestors was like, yeah, we lived on these planets, in this universe and that universe, that's what they was talking about. They was talking about the different electrons inside of us or whatever. But they didn't have a word for no electron. They just had the different universes. We already understood this already. Or understood it, however you want to put it. Why we can't get there now? You know what I'm saying? I feel like it's because the shadow. You got to tap into the shadow. The shadow is not blocking you. The ego is blocking you. The ego is the center of your consciousness. It's the bearer of your consciousness. So whatever is inside your subconscious mind that will raise up outside of the depths and alter your life for the quote unquote better, your ego will not allow that unless you can surpass that thing, unless you can sidestep it. You feel what I'm saying? So this is why we say we gotta do things repetitiously, or you have a traumatic experience on yourself. You know what I'm saying? Utilize signs and symbols. This is how your subconscious mind talks to you. What y'all listen, we out of here with you. You know what I'm saying? They said what y'all own, psyche shit. Psyche is literally the mind. It's a word for the mind. It's a Greek word for the mind. That's crazy. People say shit and don't understand what they talking about. That's right there. That's scary. These are the individuals that's living inside of society right now that can possibly be running society and doing anything. Y'all see Donald Trump was the president. Anybody can be anything. As long as you put your mind to it. You can put your mind to the littlest thing and still have that form of consciousness. I talk a lot about consciousness because that's the most important thing in what we deem spirituality. You're not woke, right? Woke is literally a fad. But the reason why everybody keep telling you to, hey, wake up, right? Stay woke and all that stuff is because your soul is asleep, right? The in the previous primordial universes that we existed in, we didn't exist in no body. We existed as what we were: primordial beings, chaos beings, cosmic beings, just energy, raw energy. You can't have that experience as that here, right? So you have to lower your vibration to something like this to experience something like this, right? But that aspect of you still exists. This is why you can still go back into your dreams, do whatever you do, astral project, and all types of things, right? But we got different dimensions, So separate from the dreamland, we have the astral planes, the different dimensions as far as this and the physical plane and all the other dimensions that you want to name off. Because you have it's a your body that you exist in is a eukaryotic cell. It's a multi-cell organism, right? So you're a multi-dimensional being, but you come from a single cell existence, a unicell existence, prokaryotic, bacteria that comes from the sun. This is the light that's inside you, the soul that they talk about. But you can't experience this, like I just said, being what you was. You had to come here, right? But everybody distracting you from what's really going on. I'm here to have an experience. You get involved however you want to get involved, that's cool. At the end of the day, right? When you leave from this place, and let's say you come back, which is not the goal. That's definitely not the goal. You don't want to come back here because everything that happened over the course of whatever, when you want to call it the beginning, all the way to now, will happen again. That's the law of the complements. You feel what I'm saying? All the pain, all the heartbreak, all the terror, all of that will get complemented like it's doing now, but people don't even witness. It will get complemented with pleasure and all that stuff extremely for the same duration. All that stuff gonna happen all over again. Also, the law of rhythm, back and forth. That's why we gotta have some form of balance. But that only exists here. So we trying to get back to where we come from naturally. That's the thing. We trying to get back. We trying to get back into our natural state of being. This ain't us. You like I say, you leave from here. Let's say you come back. Let's say you be somebody completely different, meaning you look different. You could be somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? With a different family, a different mom, a different spouse, kids, and all that stuff, whatever that you didn't have many different times. I'm getting you to think about this, right? This didn't happen to you so many different times. So why now is it so important? Your experience is important, and what resonates with you from within that you can truly experience is the main thing that's important because that could be what you truly need. You know what I'm saying? That's it. The earliest forms of Christianity was Gnosticism, and they give you a primordial essence, a mother and a father, an archetype. Not this my mom, this my dad, but energies that everything comes from. The Egyptians call it the noon. They call it a waste of water that rock came out of, a celestial egg that was sparkling. So we know that's the sun. And in every name that Ra named for himself or whatever, besides his hidden name, came into manifestation. Capri Ra, you know what I'm talking about, Atum Ra, things like that. So these are just different sets of sun. And all the other gods that came in, the air, the sky, the earth, the rain, the moisture. It's the same thing with these different, what do you call that, in the Gnosticism, with the insight, the perception, the memory, the understanding, perfection, peace, Sophia, all these different things we had already existed in. These were realms that we had already existed in as our primordial energy before this place. You know what I'm saying? We so focused on the physical reality. This is not the end all be all. Y'all not gonna be here forever, but you can be if you attached. Ain't nobody take no planet over, man. I'm trying to tell you this. You gotta know how powerful you truly is. So if anybody take no planet over, you gotta know you being played with right now. If you being played with right now, and you know you truly powerful, then you gotta go inside of yourself and see just how powerful you is. You gotta make some shit shake. The Baphomet. Let me explain the Baphomet. The Baphomet represents both masculine and feminine energies, right? The body, arm, leg, arm, head, all of the elements as well as the hidden elements. Now, if we speak it from in terms of the goat, you get the goat of the Mendes, right? Which is the ram goat or a tomb, the hidden one. You feel me? Now, the goat is doing this Egyptian pose, as above, so below. You know what I'm saying? It's actually a meditative pose. And now, usually he's sitting on top of the earth, which earth represents your red chakra, your root chakra. You know what I'm saying? So it's like him sitting on that represents mastering your humanity, not humanity, but your humanity. Then on his in his abdomen, usually it will have the staff of caduceus, which is on the ambulance that you see every day. You know what I'm saying? If you in an area like that, and like I said, it has both masculine and feminine energy, like both snakes rising up, whatever, which represents your kundalini. You know what I'm talking about? Because we think of the kundalini as just one serpent, but mind you, it is because kunda or kundalini is a goddess serpent. You know what I'm talking about? I don't think y'all knew that, but that's what that is. But it still breaks down and be both masculine and feminine energies rising up. So going to the forehead or whatever, it's a 5-point starter representing the illumination of the pineal gland. Coming out of the head is fire, representing the illumination of or cosmic illumination from the crown chakra. Also, it's a goat, so you know it has horns, and anything that has horns represents fertility. It's a what do you call that? I forgot what it's called. The statue of a lasso or whatever. It's like 20,000 years old or whatever. But it's like a little statue. They found it in some type of cave or whatever. But they was like trying to correlate little lunar calendars or whatever from back in the day, trying to see the importance on the moon. I've been reading a lot on the moon or whatever. But it's a feminine figure though, and it wasn't made like a so like these ancient people that did this, it wasn't no male that did it. It was a female that did it in the image of herself or whatever. But what she was holding was a bison horn or whatever, and it was a horn, but it represented fertility, also the moon. But that's basically what it means. It means masculine and feminine energy, illumination. In your pineal gland, well, in your head, you got the pineal gland and you got the pituitary gland. You know what I'm saying? So it literally means androgyny. When we talk about androgyny, we're not talking about two different types of beings. We're talking about one being. You know what I'm saying? This is why a lot of this stuff is able to happen inside of our minds and be able to do these things inside of our minds. Some people can't just. Some people are not. They're not able to have an experience outside of this reality. You know what I'm saying? Some people can't. Some people can't go inside of their mind and actually visualize things or whatever to the point to where I'm walking around in a whole other different place and I'm experiencing this. They'll laugh and think you crazy, or just say you got a strong imagination. But that's cool. I just created all this in my mind. I just took my awareness from here to there. Usually, right inside of this represents the dragon eating itself, consuming itself. Also, the Kundalini. It represents the life and death birth, the life and the rebirth of cycle. Everything is symbolism. Everything is symbolism. And goats definitely rise to the highest occasion over all of the obstacles. You have a damn you got you a goat, right? You wonder how this motherfucker got on your house. How did he even get up there? They be climbing on all type of different types of trees. All those are symbolism. These are Christ animals. Christ, KRST, the original interpretation, or the autogenous, the self-created. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, we existed in this, man. We existed in this. So now we here. And society tell your ass, don't do this, don't do that, don't do this, don't do that. A lot of things they tell you don't do, be a form of your nature, right? Be a form of your nature and what you are right now. You know what I'm talking about? So while you doing that, you listening to what they say is blocking you from raising to your highest point of who you actually are. In order to raise to the highest point of who you actually are, you got to go deep inside of your mind and see who you've been. You know what I'm saying? Now, what I was just reading earlier, all that explains is that all these things already existed. You know what I'm talking about? However you want to put it, however you want to say it, all of the archetypes, which is a primordial image or a blueprint of a science, an entity or whatever, you get what I'm talking about? It already exists inside of you. So you already came well equipped with everything already, just lacking the experience. You know what I'm talking about? You got to have that experience because you still here in this physical. Now, you didn't already have so many different experiences. That's why I say you got to go back and see who you've been. When you see who you've been, see where you see where you came from. You know what I'm talking about? Who you've been dealing with, who you've been in tune with, who you've linked up with, or whatever. It gives you a certain perception of the world that you're living in right now. How you supposed to maneuver in it right now? Because it is things that's going on right now. But how you gonna be able to maneuver? How you gonna be able to maneuver? Now, I'm just speaking for the ones that's still gonna be here. We got You got the solar flares, you got all that stuff that's going on. That's about to change. It's about to shift the dimension to a new frequency, right? But the ones that transcend in the sin, where do you go? What are you gonna do? The Egyptians call it the Duat, but that's not the last place to end all be all. It's just the quantum reality. Your experience and your experiences is supposed to shape the light that you truly are. You gotta know what it is to be God, how it is to think, how it is to move, how it is to feel, love, hate, all of that. Because it's what you are. But it's different aspects, it's different energies, archetypes, whatever, that you can access. Over the time, we didn't give you personalities because it's easier for you to access it. It's easier for you to access, let's say, incorruptibility and truth and life eternal and all that if you put it in a human aspect. That'd be easier. It sounds nicer to do it like that. Because hey, I'm a human, or I'm having a human experience, but I have to say, hey, I'm a human. So now, you get me? This is what I'm gonna be doing. But somewhere down the line, someone told you, no, that's wrong. So you could be stuck here, having a reoccurring experience, on and on and on and on and on and on and on. Sometimes we get lucky. Sometimes we get lucky and figure out, man, this ain't what it is. And then I go in and I start searching for answers from within or whatever, right? But society, more than ever now, is trying to distract us a lot. They're trying to distract us a whole lot. And this one's trying to get us too, like, you know, trying to get to us as far as like save us or whatever. But it's only so much a motherfucking do and tell you, you feel what I'm talking about, before you do, you know what I'm saying, do something on your own for yourself. You a soul, you get me? A prokaryotic being or a prokaryotic cell. Remember I told y'all, because we always do, okay, like, you talking about you a soul, you this, you that, you out the man. Well, bacteria exist as a community or in groups or in clans, right? And it'd be trillions of them, you get me? But they still created their own self, basically. They were self-created, had their own experience to be able to live out the evolution that they're living out right now. And as above, so below, inside your body is so many different bacterial cells inside. This is why you having a dual experience. You both eukaryotic and prokaryotic. But if you look up what the different bacteria cells are inside of your body, it will say that they're basically helping you outlive. So everything that you eat and all that stuff, whatever you helping them out, they doing what they do, whatever. But ultimately, right, we got our mitochondria. We got to really study what our mitochondria. When you go back inside of your mitochondria, it's a matrix inside of it. Like it's a whole nother world, a whole nother simulation or whatever, right? How do we experience this? We bring our awareness to these functionings inside of our body. This is what I mean. Sometimes when we go to these dreamlands and we do all of these, or when we go to these astral planes or whatever, right? It's aspects of our mind or our body, the actual inner earth or the inner world. We experience it in a different way so we can understand and resonate. That's where all the mythology comes from. Man, I gotta get you out of here. Because what I'm repenting for, I don't even know how to do that. Tell you the truth. Repent for me, please. I damn near need it. Somebody say, repent. You be like, repent for me. Because I don't know what that means. It be things like that. You have so much control over your life, right? But we've been taught we don't. We've been taught that all that, you don't do nothing, basically. Think about this. This is what they're telling you right now. They telling you you don't do nothing in life and you worthless, basically. You know what I'm saying? I'm not telling you that, but this is what they're saying. They saying you worthless in life, you ain't nothing, and anything that you do don't matter. And but whatever, it doesn't matter basically because it's given to you by something else that you don't see. Because if you do see it, right, it's actually a negative aspect, right? So anything that you do experience, right? So like, man, I seen God. I saw God last night. God came to me and said, listen, son, whatever, God would probably say to a person like that or whatever, right? And then you would tell your church friends or whatever, and they'd be like, son, that was the devil. How? Right? And then all that bad that happened to you or whatever, it was the devil. We taught to say that. We taught to say that. So basically, in my mind, this is my interpretation. I don't mean nothing, basically. If anything happened to me is good, it's because of whatever is in the sky. That's where it's at. And then this guy that's downstairs in the ground, or whatever, he's steady trying to get at me. That's weird to even look at life like that. Being grown. A grown individual, that's crazy. That's crazy. Now, you ready for this? While I don't get involved in that, I'm not going to project what I feel like is my truth onto you. Like there is no word to tell you to repent in this form of understanding. It's only, hey, go study yourself. It represents what's inside of you. You know what I'm saying? In layman's terms, I'm gonna say masculine and feminine energy. And inside of your head, you got a pineal gland and a pituitary gland, which acts as a penis and a vagina. You know what I'm saying? So a sex and a mind is androgynous one being. Basically, it's one being with both energies. You know what I'm talking about? So it's going to represent from the ground up what we basically are, the nitty gritty, all the way up to the divine light. Except who? We talk a lot about hymns and her. We talk about a lot about hymns. But we don't talk nothing about hers. Cause I got a mama, and I love her dearly. Oh, the Pan, the god, what you call that? The god, the Greek god Pan, he represents indulgence, which is probably an aspect of him. I feel like it is. But no, Baphomet represents a lot more than that. I ain't gonna lie to you. It's everything that deals with your lower regions, the lower regions of who you are as a human being, all the way to the highest regions, reaching out to the highest. You know what I'm talking about? Why do people have a different? People have a different understanding because you got to think. What do, what do, what have we been told? What have we been told all of these years? We've been told about the devil and all of that stuff or whatever. So some people gonna ride with that, but that wasn't working for me. You know what I'm saying? I was one that asked, "Why God? Where God, Mama at?" Everybody else got a mama. That's what I was asking. So I searched deeper. Why do you think that I worship the devil? That's a weird question. Why worship anything besides yourself? Thank you. All of this only exists inside of us, and it's not no entity waiting on you to be like, yeah, you finna fuck up, so I'm finna go ahead and capture your soul, or yeah, if you don't do right, you can't get into heaven. No, it's not that. If you don't have the experience that is needed, you won't succeed in getting to what they call as heaven. And heaven, it exists inside of your mind. You know what I'm talking about? What do I mean? I mean your chakras. You have seven chakras, seven main chakras. The root chakra represents the earth. Well, the three lower chakras represents the earth, right? The root chakra is red. It represents the fear, right? The fear and being grounded. So if it's positive, it represents you being grounded and having stability in life, right? And you secure in what's going on. If not, then you fearful. You're not grounded, obviously, and you just worry about things, right? Your sacral chakra is yellow, and well, it's orange, and it it represents your sexuality and your sensuality and the intimate parts of who you actually are. And if if it's positive, then basically, you live in. I would say if you're not living that life now, then you'll be living a different life than what you are right now. And if it's negative, then you will have some form of self shame. You know what I'm talking about? And just things just won't go right in your life. The next one is your solar plexus. That's yellow, and that's like that's your self esteem. You know what I'm talking about? That's your self esteem, your self worth, and your soul power. If you didn't have that or whatever, then you would lack all of those things. You know what I'm talking about? And you really wouldn't have no direction in life. You know. And then what do you call that? Your heart chakra. That's green, and that's dealing with compassion and self love. The self love is because if you didn't have all of those things before, you have to have all those. You have to be able to embrace yourself or whatever. You feel what I'm talking about? That's a form of self love. We go off of loving everybody else or whatever. That's why it's only dealing with compassion and self love. Not saying don't love nobody, but you really just want to have the compassion whatever first. You feel what I'm talking about? And the self love first before you deal with giving out any other love, because you can't love nobody until you love yourself. You know what I'm saying? Um, the throat chakra, that's blue. And that's dealing with speaking your truth and your truth only. You know what I'm talking about? Um, when 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 it's not like effective, basically, people be lying all the time. Basically, you know what I'm saying? they lying, but those lies definitely get them caught up. You know what I'm talking about? But if not, then an individual is speaking their truth basically. You know what I'm talking about? And they're projecting that. And ain't nobody finna deter you from what you got to say, what you trying to do, and what's going on. The next one is your pineal gland. That's like an indigo color, purple or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But that's connected to your intuition or whatever, and your your creative mind. You know what I'm saying? Um, it's also connected to your solar plexus because your solar plexus is connected to your intuition as well. You know what I'm saying? So it's connected to your subconscious too, and that's just connected to the spiritual part of what's going on or whatever. This is why I always say when people be like, "Man, the darkness, the darkness, the darkness." If we are actually light beings and we having this physical experience, then the physical is actually the vessel that's over our actual eye, because the eye that we actually see through out of is the third eye. And now we have the crown chakra. It really has no color, or it's just white. But that's cosmic information. You know what I'm saying? People tap into the cosmos, uh, their cosmic relatives or whatever, what you want to say, the intergalactic force, all of that stuff like that or whatever. You know what I'm saying? You have those type of channels, you know what I'm saying, when you tap into that, as well as the dead spirits. You know what I'm saying? People that call themselves mediums, they're usually born with their crown chakra open, you know what I'm saying, fully. So it'd be like spirits coming to them, talking to them or whatever. And, people be like, oh, they crazy or whatever, put them on meds or whatever, but those individuals are tapped in. This flag does not represent the chakra. It does. You got to look it up. I just sat here and explained it. You know what I'm saying? You got to look it up. That's it. You know what the caduceus, listen, you know what the caduceus means. If you are an individual that studies spirituality or occultism, because that's the same, that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? Because spirituality is studying with the things that's unseen. Occultism is hidden knowledge, so it's the same thing. Now, if you're an individual that deal with that, and then you can look at the ambulance, and you'd be like, wow, that sign, right? That's Hermes sign, right? That's the staff of Thoth or the caduceus. You understand that staff is your spinal column, or the Jacob's ladder, or in the Freemasons 33 the 33rd degree. You know what I'm talking about? So, oh yeah, and going up that, right? And going up that, we know we dealing with our chakras. Why we just dealing with our chakras? Because it's like it's the Kundalini rising up. Because the Christ, Jesus Christ is supposed to be the Christos, right? Now this thing that fell down here, as well as Lucifer, the light bearer. Both of these things are synonymous. So then when it rises up, Jesus had 12 disciples inside of your brain, right? You got 12 carnal nerves, which act as the disciples, because disciple means to discipline. And what like how do you discipline these 12 carnal nerves or whatever? It's the animalistic characteristic aspects of who you are inside of your mind. So that's your zodiac. Or but I'm just one zodiac. No, you done been many of them. You know what I'm saying? So you become the 13th zodiac, which is the dot inside of your head, or the pineal gland. You know what I'm saying? And outside of that, it's the cosmos. You feel I'm talking about, the everything. Basically, the rainbow can represent a chakra, not the no, the rainbow represents the chakras. It's the difference. Because what goes on inside of us, right, is projected outwardly. You know what I'm saying? So we get caught up on the physical, but in actuality, the physical reality comes from the spiritual reality, which comes outside of us. So the rainbow comes from the chakras. And the chakras, or the Baphomet, don't just represent the chakras. The chakras are an aspect inside of the Baphomet. The Baphomet is representing the highest form of humanity, basically. We think the highest form of humanity is just being God. No. Because what about the negative aspects of it, the different polarities that you have control of? Being God, you got to know that you have control over everything, or we're not in that understanding yet. You get what I'm saying? No, it's not a deity to worship. You don't worship no deity. Listen, if you understand these deities, if you deal with these deities, right? Understand this. Let me tell you this right now. I'll probably never say it again. I might do, never know. These deities want you to worship them. I don't know if you knew that. I deal with the deities. They want you to worship them. They don't want you to talk about what I'm talking, just like how society do. They don't want you to talk about that. That's how deep this getting the spirituality gets. When you start to understand yourself, when you start to surpass the spirit and tap into the solar aspect of who you are, the solar aspect, the God aspect, because a deity or a spirit is not a God. So why would you worship that? Which they want you to worship them, because it's a lower aspect of your mind. You get what I'm talking about? And you want to tap into the purest part of you. So when you tap into the purest part of you, you seek an experience. The purest part of you is the soul, or in the Yoruban mythology, they call it the Ori, the consciousness, right? Which has no it has no form, it has no nothing, right? You just seeking that experience. How do you have that experience? You utilize your attributes. What are your attributes? You have spirits, you have angels, or what do you or what you call gods now. The Egyptians call them Neteru. Different aspects of nature or whatever that you can tap into and access or whatever to have an experience based upon your reality that's going on right now and so forth, as far as all of the lives that you can have. You know what I'm saying? If you get into reincarnation and all that stuff. So it's not about worshiping a deity. I say you worship yourself. If I'm talking about, it's never about that. And the Kundalini, the Kundalini yoga is demonic. The Kundalini is a goddess. Kundalini is a goddess. It's a feminine energy. You probably say it's demonic because it's a fire. That's fine. You know what I'm talking about? But if we're dealing with chakras, we know that the Kundalini, if you're dealing with the Kundalini, it unlocks your chakras. This is my thing right here. If we know and understand that all these things exist, that's cool, that's fine, that's dandy. And they exist inside of us, right? What 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 is evil? What is good? Right? There is nobody going around here trying to harm nobody doing all of this. Show me one individual that's doing that now. I'm not talking about a cult, because that's a religion. Because a religion is the same thing and have done the same thing over the years. You know? You know what I'm saying? Show me one individual that'll get on here and that spiritual quote unquote or whatever that done something that you think that we just out here doing all day, every day. Besides what a cult person would do. Not a cult, a cult. Like a cultist. Like somebody that's in an actual cult. You feel what I'm talking about? And somebody that's in a religion, which is the same thing. Because in the ancient times, we didn't have no religion. We had spiritual systems. Because everything that's being taught right now was being taught in the house. And if you can get to this level of understanding, you would be inside of the mystery system. You probably become a priest or a high priest or a high priestess. You get what I'm saying? These people held the information because somewhere down the line, and it was obviously back in the day because we had priesthoods and all that stuff. Somewhere down the line, we forgot and lost the ability to understand what it was we were doing here, our actual purpose. Can't nobody tell you what your purpose is. You got to figure it out on your own. But you okay with that? You okay with somebody telling you what your purpose is and then telling you what your purpose is or whatever, while things just keep happening to you? No matter who you is, things keep happening or whatever, and we just living off hope. Hope is the biggest drug, and it don't even exist. You know, let's say something happened. Boop, this is real. Boop, I'm not here no more. Boop, I'm in hell. Why would that even matter to an individual? Do you really care? See, it'd be the ego. It'd be the ego. It'd be the ego and it'd be the mind control of society. Just give you the urge. I'm fighting the urge to tell this guy that he's wrong. Even if I was wrong, it works for me. And that's what I'm trying to tell you. Whatever works for you, you need to be doing that. You need to be not letting nobody tell you nothing different. You know what I'm saying? And if you see something that's working for somebody else, you need not be trying to stop them. That's not the world that we live in. If you want to be living in tune and in harmony with everybody. You know what I'm saying? Listen, that's the thing. You can't tell me that if it's working for me. If it's not working for you, right? Because I don't know what you're doing. I don't know what you're doing. If it's not working for you, right? Right? If you're doing this right now and it's not working for you, I'll advise you to stop. But if you are, right, and it is, then you continue. If you're doing something else that opposes this and it's working for you, then you continue. That's who I am. That's what I tell you. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing. I gotta understand that. Those type of individuals only if they do. I know people that do. I know people that just act like it when they on TikTok. There's people that go to church all the time besides Sunday. They read the Bible every single day and they into that thing. You know what I'm saying? You'll never see them here. You have individuals that just grew up listening to what society told them. You know what I'm talking about? Society meaning society as well as their parents. Because their parents were just told whatever anyway. You know what I'm talking about? And just because they was told and programmed that or whatever, as soon as they see something, they gotta say it. They don't have no self-control. You know what I'm talking about? We living in a world of unity, is we not? There's not going to be the same thing that everybody's getting into. That's what I'm trying to get everybody to understand. That's why I tell you to go inside of yourself. You know what I'm talking about? With anything you're doing. You know, it's good if you got I like to call it a spiritual system because I don't like to say religious. But if you're dealing with that, that's cool. But if you utilize this focal point as something to tap into your soul, you know what I'm saying? But if you worshiping something, that's where you're wrong at. Don't worship nothing. Worship nothing at all. I'm trying to tell you. To worship anything is to give away your energy, give away your ashe if you believe in any of that. Just telling you. I think I think people think we live in some type of what you call that? This ain't reality TV. Everybody on reality TV, everybody on the internet is not doing the same thing that you doing at home, still. I'm trying to tell you. You crazy, you thought that. I'm trying to tell you, man. Listen. It's people out here for real, that have been through real things, man. I'm trying to tell you. That have been through real things that that what you talking about, you know what I'm saying? What society done gave us and fed us, that ain't working. You feel what I'm talking about? That ain't working. And because all the archetypes exist inside of us already and have existed forever since the beginning of what you want to call, you know what I'm talking about? We dealt with that over the years. You feel what I'm saying? But it ain't gonna be no. It ain't. It's crazy, right? Because it ain't gonna be everybody. That's why. But see, it can be. But everybody don't want to fight those demons. Everybody want to push the demons off onto somebody else. The demons exist inside of you. And they chasing your dreams. Some of us say we don't have no dreams. You know, we talk things into existence. In the Bible it say, in the beginning, there was the word, and the word was God. You know what I'm talking about? We talk things into existence. So I don't have no dreams. That's what they be saying. Because you having nightmares. And what's chasing you inside your dreams is an aspect of what you keep buried inside of your mind. Understand? Just saying. I'm trying to break this blunt down. But real life, I think y'all think that this is not reality. This is just life. Reality is supposed to be reality, but if you go outside, well, man, it's not real. It ain't real. Feel me? People not people for real, for real. Yeah, I'm trying to tell you. People just first and foremost, people living like they living on the internet in real life. Well, maybe not. I don't know. I don't know how you is. I assume that. Don't don't lock me up for assuming. But people ain't doing what you doing at home right now. You know what I'm saying? While you focus on whatever you feel like is life, there's other individuals that's looking at themselves like, hey, I am life. You know what I'm talking about? I am life. Life may be fucked up, but how can I fix it? You probably just living life, and life's just happening to you. You know what I'm talking about? We happening life. Um, Listen though, some people gonna understand, some people not gonna understand. What better way to understand this right here? You have a soul, right? We all supposed to have a soul. Not all of us, but we all supposed to have a soul. We all come from a source, okay? This source is supposed to be an unpolarized state of matter. What does unpolarized state of matter mean? Unpolarized state of matter means there is no dual aspect in it. But this state is infinitely recessive, meaning it's a negative. It's a negative entity. It's a negative energy. It's a negative thing. Why is it negative? The ultimate receiver. It has everything inside of it. So it's feminine in nature. Okay? So this is where we all come from, right? And the soul aspect of us, right? And everything that you can think of in nature that you see, right? From the animals down to, I don't want to talk about like no buildings and nothing like that, but from the monuments that we created, from the systems that we created and all that stuff or whatever, are different aspects explaining who we are. While religion gave you a monotheistic system, which is to what do you call that? Worship one being or whatever, right? We had a monotheistic system that explained it in a polytheistic way, meaning we explained it many ways. And if you have melanin, right, your melanin is the ultimate polymer, meaning it's of many, right? This is why we can do many different things, right? Oh, I don't explain things in the right way or whatever. You want to explain in creation. You want to explain in order. I explain in chaos because that's what we existed in before. You feel what I'm saying? Just saying. It's not for it's not for the ones that don't want to tap inside themselves. You can't get this out no book. But I read a lot though, and I do urge people to read because knowledge is power. That's what you're supposed to be doing. You know what I'm saying? But afterwards, you're supposed to take it and apply it to yourself. Most people apply it to their head and try to intellectualize with it. No, man, how does it affect you? How is it affecting you? You know what I'm saying? People not looking at it like that. They don't want to. I'm gonna give all my good up to God. And if something bad happened to me, I'm just the devil that done did it. Or whatever. Do you know? I'm gonna tell you something. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you how easy magic works. I'll lure you in with that picture. For every person that don't understand what the Baphomet is or whatever, I give like a basic understanding or whatever. You feel I'm talking about? Because people come in there. Ooh, you got the devil. You why worship the devil? Why do this? Why do this? All you gotta do is sit here and listen. And if you don't like it, you can leave. For sure. I'm trying to tell you. But you be here, right? You click on it because you gotta click and comment, and you know what I'm saying? You got to. Like I have to say this. Cause I gotta touch this brother heart. I gotta touch his little heart, his little spirit, his little soul. I gotta do it. but it's Friday. Eastern time, it's 8:17. That tells me you ain't got nothing to do. You ain't got nothing to do. But the fact that you here and you comment still, guess what? I'm talking to the deepest part of who you is. So regardless of what you say on the conscious level, it's still getting to you. You're not even paying attention to what I say. That's the ultimate way of how the information gets to you in the first place, right? Now, when you have a dream, when you start seeing things, you be like, damn, yeah. So get out of here while you can. Phone them. I'm trying to tell you, that's what we living in right now. You don't be knowing what you getting yourself into when you come here. You just be talking. That's it. I want people to think I'm just talking, because I am just talking. If 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 learning the most intimate parts about yourself, loving yourself, um, forgiving yourself, healing the damaged forms of who you truly are, that you know that you deal with every day when you look in the mirror. If that's talking about nothing, then go ahead. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead. Because listen, I find it funny that society, Hollywood, the government or whatever, will make this seem so scary or so negative when all it is just truly getting to know who you are. Okay, it can be scary how powerful you truly are. But it just is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Now if you're ready to deal with it, that's the only matter. You know what I'm talking about? If you ain't ready to deal with it, that's okay. But you can't try to block out the next individual that's striving for this. You think I got all the answers? I don't have all the answers. But I know where the answers lie. The answers lie within. You know what I'm saying? And that don't mean, I get an answer. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm finna run the TikTok and no. Because most of us are getting answers every single day and we're not applying that to life. I got a channel, right? Let's just say I got a channel or something. I channel some information. You know, I got a sign, I got a symbol or whatever. You know, because this happens every day. And you might be aware of it because most of us aren't. But let's say you are aware of it or whatever. And that's cool. You understand for that little day or whatever. How do you apply it every single day to where it actually changed your life? The sign was given to you for a reason. That's what I'm trying to say. You know what I'm saying? We seeking instant gratification. You know what I'm saying? Which, you ready for this? If you a person that would get on here and be like, hey, Jesus is the way, that's a sin. You want that stuff right away. That's one of them sins that you need to stay away from. You know what I'm talking about? But the most instant way to get it done, you know what I'm talking about, is understanding the lures of the mind. You know, how it works. Remember your mind or your subconscious mind, I'm talking about. It talks in signs and symbols and repetition. So your dreams, all that, nature, everything. I be seeing 333. I be seeing 222, 111, all that. What does those things mean? Of course, the internet gonna have something different every single year, right? So you gotta apply it like this. What am I dealing with right now in that time of life? Because you gotta see what you're doing at the times and when you see them numbers, right? This is why this is the point of applying it to yourself. Most people that see things like that or whatever, they go to the internet, which is cool because sometimes it can be right. You know what I'm saying? But what was I dealing with, you know what I'm talking about, when I saw this? Every single day or all the time or whatever, at the same time or whatever, I'm seeing this. This is happening, that is happening, whatever. But what am I dealing with? What am I going through? All that stuff applies to what's going on in your life or whatever. When you unlock that code, you feel what I'm saying? Things start to shift a little bit more differently. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's a lot of people that get into it. That's cool. That's fine. You know? Watch this. If you believe, and you have to believe this, but if you walking around here, if you walking around here, you're on TikTok, you have one. You got a pineal gland. Inside of your pineal gland is bioluminescent. You know, we bioluminescent beings, and every bioluminescent being, including like the little ladybugs and all them other little things, like the little light fish or whatever, and all the way down the ocean, all that light or whatever is created by a little stuff, a little what do you call that? A little secretion or whatever. It's called Luciferian. That's all it is, because Lucifer only means light bearer. So this is the thing I was talking about, cults and religions. You have cults and religions or whatever, people that just try to like, go around stuff like that. That's cool, because if you can study that information outside of initiating yourself, you know what I'm saying, let's say traditionally into that stuff or whatever, but you can take the information and apply what applies to you, and that's cool or whatever. But I don't recommend nothing but going inside of self. Probably an aspect of Luciferianism talks about that, but no, that's not what it is. Going inside of self is the most natural thing you can do. No, the truth is really based upon what's true to you. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. Um, if you got some individuals that be like, listen, I had a dream and I was taken to this place, I was taken to that place, I was told I was the king or the queen of this. And then things just start happening to their life once they accept that. You know what I'm talking about? It wasn't a dream. It was an actual, like, a soul travel, an astral travel, and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? And many more. It's more like that. Because what we failed at is we try to convince people our truth. For it is your truth. Whatever works for you. That's what you're seeking. Society told you what some of the truth was. Whatever that some of the truth was only a way to access the actual truth that exists inside of you that can be utilized by you. All of these is just many different stories that can be told because someone higher inside of that religion was able to go inside of themselves and get it outside of themselves by probably practicing off of the next or the oldest ancient system or whatever that was around at the time. But that's what's really going on, because we all connected and all exist inside of us. Thing is, ain't none of us doing that now. You can't be relying on a system, on a religion, on one person, or none of that stuff or whatever when it all is inside of us. You know what I'm saying? Whatever's going on inside of the world right now truly could be found out, could be unlocked, could be deciphered by understanding what's going on inside of you. Remember, like the other day, I was talking about how you can sit down, like go outside, you can sit down and you rock back and forth like a pendulum, you know what I'm saying, with your eyes closed or whatever. And when you stop, you will still feel that sensation or whatever. But once that sensation goes up, that means that you align with the Earth's frequency. And while it is a universal frequency going around on the Earth, everybody's region, right, has something like it's like a different energy field that's going on in there. You know what I'm talking about? So, because like it's so many different stories or happenings or whatever in so many different places or whatever. And yes, well, we can connect them or whatever, right? But you'd be like, man, I'm tapped into this. Why I ain't seeing that? Why it ain't going on over here or wherever? You know what I'm saying? Tap into the energy in that area. You know what I'm saying? That's it. Demons. What? I don't even know what y'all even talk about for real. I ain't even looking at the comment. Y'all probably just, you know what I'm saying? So I ain't gonna respond. But yeah, man. It's just understanding. And that's only if a person really want to gain that. You know, some people just don't want to. You know, for whatever reason, that's cool. We can have our different ways of why we say it's scary. I don't want to tap into it. It's evil. It's wrong. Whatever. It's witchcraft. That's cool. But for those that do, the best way is tapping into the mind. And all of the studies, they always talk about the mind. And then if you ever you know what I'm saying, get into a mystery system or a practice, one of these mental exercises or whatever, I said mental, it's always dealing with the mind. When we go to these astral planes or whatever, or we dreaming or whatever, and we go into these different dimensions or whatever, it's all happening with the mind. When a person is meditating, you know what's happening with the mind. You're able to take your awareness outside of the physical awareness and place it into a awareness that may don't exist because you created it, or one that does exist by way of your interpretation of what it is on a study or a memory that you had, you know what I'm saying, that you gained by various long periods of meditation. You know what I'm saying? So we can't focus on the individuals that don't want to tap into it. Because however it shapes you, it's all a part of you. And by learning who you are, where you came from, who you've been, you understand, okay, this is what I need to be doing. I need to be doing this. I need to be doing that. I need to be doing this. We never know what that is because it's unique and it's personal to you and every individual. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of individuals talking about the world is changing and doing all that. It is. How are you going to exist in this new change, this new evolution, this new frequency? How are you going to exist in that? It's not going to be an evolution where you can just fend off the next individual or depend on the next individual. You have to depend on oneself because what's going on right now is disintegration. You know what I'm saying? Society, they gave you movies, they told you it's a new world order. We already living in it. On the back of the dollar, it says that. So that means the new world order is already in it. And the new world that's actually coming in or whatever be a more spiritual one because those will be the individuals that can truly exist inside of that environment. You know what I'm saying? But in existing in that environment, you got to bring your own culture. You know what I'm talking about? In the nations of God and earth, their supreme mathematic, which is a number, the number 4 is culture of freedom. Freedom is freeing one's dome, freeing one's mind. Culture is your understanding of who you are, and taking all of the knowledge of that you resonate with, no matter what it is. Islamic knowledge, Jewish knowledge, this knowledge, that knowledge, that knowledge. So you have certain people that be like, don't tap into this, don't tap into that, don't tap into this. Tap into whatever you resonate with that can help you gain an understanding of who you truly are as a God, if that's how you perceive yourself. Now, if you don't perceive yourself like that, you feel I'm talking about, this conversation is not for you. But if you perceive yourself as something more than what society told you was, then you take in any information, all the information as an aspect of who you are and what you are at the most highest point. You feel I'm talking about, which is light, photons. You know what I'm saying? That's it. They're gonna argue, they're gonna try to deny you, they're gonna do all that. That's cool. You know what else they said? That the the spiritual journey is a lonely one. The spiritual path is a lonely path. It's gonna be lonely. You're gonna lose a lot of people, all that stuff, because they're not gonna understand what's going on. You know what I'm talking about? And most times we isolate ourselves, seclude ourselves or whatever because we ain't dealt with our shadow. You can exist and coexist with individuals that don't what do you call that, agree with you or is not understanding what you understand or whatever. You can coexist with people like that. All you gotta do is deal in your shadow. You gotta be comfortable with what you know. If an individual, right, if an individual comes to you, right, and can't have a conversation with you, you got unks on, you got crystals, you got that stuff on or whatever, and they can't have a conversation with you or whatever, because they have not dealt with their ego. And they really don't believe in what they say for real, for real. You gotta know what you believe in is real. If I was taught and I believed it and it was in my heart, because most people was taught the Bible and all that stuff, but it's not in their heart. We just taught that program, but it wasn't in our heart, meaning we didn't take it in for ourselves. So if I believed it, right, I was taught and I believed it, it was in my heart or whatever, you couldn't shake me. You couldn't shake me. But I was taught that, yeah, and it was somewhat in my heart. But for a time when I was younger, I didn't. I had questions that nobody could answer. See, I didn't just walk away. I had questions and nobody answered, but I searched it out myself on my own, and I started finding other things or whatever. I'm like, okay, this is that, or whatever. And then just I come to where I am right now. You know what I'm talking about? I come to a place to where you can't shake me. I'm rooted in what I know. You get what I'm talking about? So if you're not rooted in what you know, right? Somebody can shake you just by the presence. The presence. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about, listen, you can be around an individual, right? A spiritual person can come around a religious person and make a religious person turn to a spiritual person. Why I say that? Because they be like, oh, you don't believe, you ain't even had to say nothing. You don't believe in the Bible? Hold on, let me you ain't even said that. All you doing is wearing crystals. All you doing is wearing crystals, your little amulets or whatever, right? Your little bracelets, all that copper. They like, oh, you wearing that? Even though it's in the Bibles, they ain't read it. They get to throwing out Bible verses at you or whatever. You feel what I'm talking about? Which is a form of witchcraft. They throwing spells on you already. You feel me? So as soon as a spiritual person, get inside of the presence of a religious person, the religious person get to throwing the spells on them quick. Right away. All in the comments. I'm trying to tell you. Throw they Bible up at you, all type of things. You don't see no spiritual person doing that because we understand that it's something spiritual. It's not nothing physical. The religion is dealing with something something dual though. You know what I'm talking about? Because it's a different way to understand it. But it's really dealing with the physical. That's all you really care about. Try to tell you, your energy, the spirit, the real spirit is really being devoted to something else, to keeping the religion alive. The stuff do exist. It exists inside of your mind. You feel what I'm talking about? You will have spiritual people that's like, nah, man, that don't exist. If that don't exist, then what we talking about don't exist neither. It was created. And the only way it was created is because this. You got to go all the way back. You go all the way back and it tell you, right, that everything come out of this source thing, this unpolarized state of matter. But you a part of that. The highest form of what you are, the soul aspect. You a part of that. But you seeking an experience. This is what that source is doing. It's seeking an experience. It can't have an experience of itself in itself. You know what I'm saying? So now we separated. You know what I'm talking about? Having an experience individually. So that means everything that everybody is doing, no matter what it is, needs to go down. So it doesn't keep happening. These are cycles. That's fine. But listen, if you're not walking with Jesus Christ right now, then what are you doing? If Jesus Christ ain't blessing you every single day, what are you doing? If Jesus Christ isn't talking to you, what are you doing? Don't tell me Jesus Christ don't talk to you. Go in your mind and talk to Jesus Christ. This is how you got to talk to a religious person that believe in Jesus Christ. You believe in Jesus Christ, talk to him and wait for him to talk to you. Don't just sit there. No, talk to him every day on your knees and wait for him to talk back. And when the voice come back, don't be scared. That's what I tell you. I dare you. But you're not going to do that. Because listen, it don't happen like that. It does though. Cause and effect. Cause and effect. That's what that is. We learned that in school. When you put a cause in, right? It has to be a great cause. It can't just be, well, something's going bad in my life, so now I'm finna pray or whatever. You got to continue to pray. You got to do it consistently until something happens and makes an actual change in your life, and you notice it actually makes a change in your life. Not just nothing. Actually interface with this thing you call whatever, your God, your entity, whatever you want to call it. If you don't have a personal relationship like that with your entity, you know, what are you actually doing for real, other than just commenting? No. You listen to this. You gonna meditate, you gonna pray, that's cool. But you gonna find yourself in your head, it's gonna be a lot of chatter inside of your mind, right? Once that gets quiet, right? Tell me what happened after that. Or do you stay long enough to experience that? That's all I'm saying, because it's all the same thing. And then what you believe, right? What are you utilizing as a focal point? Some people utilize this, some people utilize that. That's the question. I don't pray. I'm the wicked. I'm definitely the wicked. For sure, for sure. Cause whatever that means. You know what I'm saying? I'm the wicked. The wicked one. The wicked one 333. A lot of our people don't even know the laws and the commandments and don't realize they wicked as well. The laws and the commandments come from the 42 negative confessions in Mayat. The 42 negative confessions in Mayat is actually 147. You know what I'm saying? I think we did know it because we had 42 districts that represented this. You know, Mayat means, what is that called? Harmony. It is the law, balance, and truth. You know what I'm saying? But those resonated with your soul. Again, going back to that. You know what I'm saying? Balancing your heart, which is connected to your soul. Balancing your heart on a scale with the feather. If your heart wasn't lighter than the feather, if you held grief inside of your heart, guilt, anything like that, being that I'm a human, I'm doing all this, I'm going through all this, and I'm still a human, I'm not actually what I truly am, whatever, then another aspect of you will consume the standing aspect of you and recreate that. That's the oldest depiction of that. If I'm talking about, but that's cool that you said most people don't know 10 commandments that comes out of 42 negative confessions or 147. Listen, if nobody had anybody trying to control them, it wouldn't matter what they was doing. Whatever they was doing and whatever they is doing will be divine. Because the universe got a funny way of balancing itself out. You're gonna figure it out. But if you got somebody and something constantly distracting you and telling you what you need to be doing and all that stuff, other than focusing on yourself, that's the only thing I'm gonna say. Focus on yourself. If everything else is telling you to look outside of that or whatever, you have no energy for that. That's not even important. Looking inside yourself, not even a real thing, is what you're telling me. Looking inside yourself, loving yourself, healing yourself, because something that we always been doing for thousands of years, right? Since we've been here, is nothing. I gotta sit here and hope that it's gonna get better. I got anxiety. I can't deal with that. I gotta do it on my own now. I can't be waiting for nobody else now. No. It can. If you focus on yourself to gain some sort of power to be supreme over somebody or something or whatever, then I would agree with you. But if you focus on yourself to reconstruct your mind, to change to have a conscious shift, right? So to think different, view things differently. You know what I'm talking about? Then that's what I say. What? You are close. Nah, man. You don't have to do that. You can save that. Cause listen, right? I don't know what you praying to, who you praying to, and if it's really going there, getting there. I don't know about none of that. That's how I think. you be praying and you actually doing some stuff for real, for real. No, we ain't doing none of that. You don't have to do that. Hey, I appreciate you, but no thank you. See? You see the witchcraft that's going on right now, you guys? You see, right? Hey, pray on you instead of praying for the truth. They don't want to know. And I don't want to know whatever they feel like the truth is. I just want to know the truth about me. And I learn so much more every time I look inside this heart that I got of mine. You feel what I'm saying? Hey, when you look so far inside yourself and learn yourself, it make you feel so old. It make you feel like you've been here forever, because you have. Because all that knowledge is just existing there, and you got access to it. You know what I'm saying? Things really just don't matter no more like that. They really think an individual like this is going around trying to harm people. That you got to, if you saying all of that. Trying to harm people, just doing crazy things, whatever. I'm natural out here, man. Go outside, be grounded, in the nature with the shoes off, rebellious. Eat my little fruits, the weirdo. You feel what I'm saying? And I'm talking about, I definitely indulge in what I indulge in, but we all got what we indulge in. You feel what I'm talking about? It's the experience. And I'm having a natural experience, I feel like. I ain't eating no meats. I don't get down on people that eat no meats, because I had to come to this realization. And I didn't come to the realization because I knew like it was unhealthy. I knew why and all that stuff. But this was the realization I had. I woke up one day and I didn't eat nothing all day. Not intentionally, I just didn't. And when I look back, I'm like, Joe, I didn't eat no meat. I'm like, so I'm finna stay like this. Because I thought that was like my ticket out. And I literally, for the whole entire year, because I ate chicken afterwards or whatever, and before I just went straight on just fruits and vegetables or whatever. But for a whole year, I was just cold turkey. And after like 3 days, I was decent. Man, listen, man. You gotta, you know what? Whatever. Jesus Christ. I tell you this. You have to own a Bible that you read every single day. You know what I'm talking about? Just read it. That's it. I think you expect me to be like, I guess, argue and just, no. But I want you to really, truly understand what you're saying, because it's still a part about seeing yourself. Look at how you're reacting to something that you truly don't have an understanding of. You get what I'm saying? We know Hollywood is not real. Or is it? You know what I'm saying? Is what they depicting on Hollywood happening for real, for real? Maybe, maybe not. Right? But you see something that you don't really see every single day. And it don't really correlate what was taught to you. Right? What was taught to you may not even be working for you truly. It may be an illusion. Hey, it may be an illusion for me, but it's working. Now, is whatever working for you, or is it working for you? And if it is, why are you here? You know what I'm talking about? You can't be right here sinning with the sinners. You can't be sinning with the sinners. You feel what I'm talking about? That's what's going on right now. We sinning. We talking about craziness. You feel me? We talking about craziness. So, no, everyone is not 100% righteous, but it's my ultimate goal to be pro-righteous. See, I'm black, right? And people probably be like, you know, a lot of things I talk about, man, he racist. No, I'm pro-righteous. That's what I am. If you want to say something, I'm pro-righteous. That's what I seek. That's the understanding I come from. You get what I'm talking about? So this is why I talk how I talk. It's just the understanding I have. Most individuals don't have multiple understandings of what they're dealing with. You feel what I'm talking about? This thing is multifaceted. When we thinking about this great picture, the great picture wasn't written in the great picture of what we call creation, which is just a event of cycles repeating. You know what I'm saying? Rather, as above, so below, as within, so without. It just keep on repeating. It never really stops. It never really evolves. It just keeps on going in the form of the creation that was laid out, the blueprint. So all of these stories, or one story, it's not just told in one story, is what I'm saying. Sorry, it was given to you like that, but that's not what's going on here. But if you truly believe that or whatever, and it works for you in a way I feel like, you know what I'm saying, it should be, if it's working, then you should be doing that. You know what I'm saying? No, see, listen. I'm black because this is what people understand when I say it. I'm neither human, I'm not man nor female. I'm light. That's what I am. That's what I identify with. I identify with the soul. You get what I'm talking about? Now, ultimately, your soul is sleep. If your soul was awake truly, right? If your soul was awake truly, none of this would be going on. What you call Christ is the soul. What you call God and what the real God is, for real, if you really want to get down to it, is the actual soul, which has never been here in this physical place. Some people's awareness, or the soul's awareness, is here. So now it will be in, what you call that, a different dimension. It's never been here in the physical dimension. The spirit doesn't exist in the physical dimension. Only the physical. But you're able to experience the spirit in the spirit realm via astral projection, or your dreams, or you being like having a lucid dream in a dream state. You know what I'm saying? So some people's soul is here as far as the awareness. Some people's soul is not. Some people's soul is away in the universe B, not universe A, in this matrix. Meaning they're able to project their consciousness here. That's a different topic. Listen, you ready for this? You see how they say spirit is the breath of life, right? Every life that you lived in, right, you possessed a quote unquote spirit. So when you tap into, so for every lifetime that you've had or whatever, every time you have a new one, that old one goes into your personal Akashic records. Because everybody has a personal Akashic records of who they was, what was going on, their own personal beginning of what was going on, right? Everybody has that. This is why we have different mythologies. You feel what I'm saying? Then we have a universal one. You know what I'm talking about? Because you had a society of people that was really connected with the mind, and they was able to go within and share that experience together, and then lay down that form of the blueprint. You know what I'm talking about? And that exists how it goes because it's universal. But people personally have a personal Akashic. And what you do when you experiencing all the many different spirits or many different lives that you had. No, yeah. You still here, sinning with the sinners. You still here sinning with the sinners. Man. When I have a talk, what is sin? That's what I'm saying. So now look, right? Now, what is sin? I don't know. I just assumed that you was what you call it. I assumed you was one of them people. I don't know. So tell me, enlighten me, because this is we in the age of information. What you thought I was gonna say? I know. I'm the great. I know everything. No, I don't know nothing. I seek to know. I seek to know and understand self. So you share with us, Mr. Jareed Israel. Share with us what sin is and the commandments. Please do tell. What are you talking about? So stop saying it. You should know. I don't know. Because you come here with that understanding. So give it to me, brother. Give it to me, please. I don't know nothing. All I know is God is seeking me as I seek. Right. And that's all we doing. That's all I'm doing. Yeah. Because to me, right, it's about the understanding. Now I understand nothing happens without a positive or a negative charge. So if there's a God the Father, there gotta be a goddess or a God the Mother type. You know what I'm talking about? So I gotta be able to understand everything. I can't just be studying the one thing. No, I don't want that. I want you to tell it to us right now. We ain't got time to be looking that up. Just tell it to us. You feel me? Just tell it to us. But how do you know you in sin without no? What's the laws of God? Come on. Me and God at odds right now. We had a conversation and he ain't do what I asked of him. So we ain't talking right now. So after this, he gotta see me when I leave. That's the relationship I got with God. You feel what I'm talking about? Do you really know who God is for real? What God looked like? What was the form of God that the Gnostics, the first Christians gave them? So this was before everybody, the Hebrews, the Jews, all this, because this is Coptic Egyptian. This come out of the Nag Hammadi library. You feel what I'm talking about? It's literally come off of the hieroglyphics. It was a dragon being, a manticore. That's the form that they gave God. But it's too mythical. So now they just gave you nothing, a spirit and whatever. But that was the ancient form of it. So what is we really talking about? The Egyptians had the Jews in slavery. No, the Jews. Oh, your name is Israel. No. Oh, let's watch this. Okay, watch this. In your studies, it says that, doesn't it? Now go look up the Egyptian mythology. They talk nothing of that. They talk nothing of it. They talk nothing of it. The what do you mean? Why would they? What are you talking about? Why wouldn't they? What do you mean? Why wouldn't they? If we enslaved these people, why wouldn't they? They talk about the many other ones that they had, but they never talked about the Israelite. What are you talking about? First and foremost, never mind. I ain't even gonna say that. I was gonna say something about America and all that other stuff. We ain't even gonna get into that conversation. But yeah, no, y'all like to say that. That's really funny. But no, anthropology really knocked that out the park too. You feel what I'm talking about? So that's not really a thing. You know what I'm saying? But you can still say that. That's cool. What else do it say about the Egyptians? Because it goes further and further and further and further and further and further than that, than them just being a really highly advanced society. You know what I'm talking about? It's the reason why it was a highly advanced society. It was something before that. It was probably something before that. Not probably, it was. What are we really talking about? Listen, because I don't really know who's making the comments or whatever, right? But I know it's a lot of my people that look like me. That's society told y'all, man, listen, you was a slave out there. So now, if you get past the quote unquote religion or whatever and all that stuff, whatever, or what's going on, like if you didn't get caught up in the Afrocentric community, you would be like, well, we was a slave out there, or we was a slave out here. Your mind, you still a slave in the mind. You're still a slave in the mind. Basically, they got what they wanted. You know what I'm saying? You got some information that you can utilize to free your mind from all your worries that you got. If the prayers help, then you shouldn't be here right now because it's working for you. So why are you sharing? Because sharing is caring? That don't exist. Give me some money then. I'm just playing. I don't really want nothing. Because money, that's the root to all evil. And I don't want no food because you might put some stuff inside of it. You feel what I'm saying? So I really don't want nothing. I don't even want the presents. You get what I'm saying? Look. Watch this. This is what I'm saying right here. If whatever you talking about right now, which in some of the information with the Hebrew Israelites, which I don't know if that's what you is, some of that I be agreeing because I study everything. I don't get attached in the way that people get attached. But if it worked for you, I don't think you know what I mean. You're not applying it to your life. You might be sitting here talking about laws, and that's cool. I don't know the laws because I'm not applying them specific laws to my life. You know what I'm talking about? So now you might be here like, well, that ain't gonna work. You know what I'm talking about? God ain't gonna save you. You ain't finna get in the cool club. Man, who wanna be in it? I ain't asked to be in it. I don't want to be in it. And you've been here for a long time. Just chatting. Sinning and grinning. I'm gonna keep on saying you sinning. You sinning and grinning. I can't keep on saying it. I gotta get you going. Hold on, y'all. Give me 1 second. Listen, man. It's way much more going on in the world right now. Bricks coming up with that little money. $55 to get one of those dollars. That's backed by gold. Gonna make everything go up. And we wondering about what's what do you call that? What the next person? What's gonna happen to the next person? What's gonna happen to you when that happens? What he said? What Blicky boy say? What Blicky boy say? Voodoo means spirits. Just saying. But a lot of these things, and then listen, I ain't even gonna say it, but a lot of these things, a lot of these things is utilized to tap into what we call God, or the one, or the source, Mother Nature, whatever. Through this process of these practices or whatever, it's supposed to shape your mentality. It's supposed to shape your way of thinking. You know what I'm talking about? You develop your own quote-unquote belief system inside of yourself, and you move about life like that. You know what I'm saying? What's going on is you have an entire multiverse inside of your being, right? That you are able to project outwardly. You know what I'm saying? In your own cipher, your own circumference, the world around you, the reality around you. You know what I'm talking about? Now, you can be like an individual that's like, well, I'm just gonna believe in what society's saying, just is what it is. And then the reality is basically the reality that's inside of the underlying reality inside of you, whatever, is aligned with the reality in the world. You know what I'm talking about? When we talk about the Matrix and we dealing in things like that or whatever, you are Neo in the Matrix. So when you go inside yourself and learn who you are and unlock that or whatever, the quote-unquote reality that exists inside of you or whatever, it does not coincide with the quote-unquote reality that's being projected into society or whatever. So now, that's you the virus. You the one that's actually shaping it. You know what I'm saying? About just by living in your truth. Not by going around trying to change the next person because I got it. What do I got? I feel like I got a whole bunch, but will it really help you? Because I went inside of myself and got this. That's how I feel about that. You know what I'm saying? It's not about, oh, I got this, I'm finna save my people. No, but this is how I did it. This is how I did it. And it was easy because you can do the same thing. And you might have a different or greater experience. You know what I'm talking about? And that's the main thing that's important. Now that's really what they want to stop right here. You know what I'm talking about? Because like I said, what you truly are, you know what I'm saying? They really don't want to mess with that for real, for real. It's like what's going on right now is a certain program that just needs to be played out. And we be calling these people the elite, or if you get involved in that or whatever, what is they really elite over for real, for real? The power that you feel like they really have for real, they would have done something if they really had that much power. The power that they got outside of little technology or whatever is manipulation, distraction. They can do that and been doing it. They got power over the food and all of that stuff, whatever. The mind. Power over the mind. The strongest thing that you have in this physical existence. The strongest thing ever, because in actuality, that's what you is. That's how you maneuver. You don't move. You don't talk. You don't blink your eyes. You don't raise your hand. Nothing without thinking. Everything you think first. You feel what I'm talking about? You might be thinking a little too much or whatever, and just be doing a whole bunch at one time, whatever. But everything comes in the form of a thought first. And that thought, that realm of thought exists as the dark side, the darkness. You know what I'm saying? That's what that is. Then you have creation. Something that's just set in order. So you just know how it is. So if you understood order in the archetypes and all that stuff, whatever, do you know, you'll understand how to manipulate that. They call that magic. Why they call it magic? They had to call it magic for the movies and all that extra stuff or whatever. So you could be so far away from it. When I was a kid, I watched the first Harry Potter movie that came out. And then afterwards it got weird because I don't get involved in that. Now I understand they was talking about your mind and things that we naturally can do. They may have romanticized it, you feel what I'm talking about? But ultimately, we was doing these things. And if you go back further and further and further, it gets weirder and weirder and weirder. Because we were more and more and more in tune with that aspect of who we were. The more and more we use the physical parts of who we were, the more and more we fell into the physical region. Like I said, the more, like, we actually light. So at the highest form of what we are, we're photons. You feel what I'm talking about? Everything that you see around you right now is supposed to be made of atoms or whatever, but the highest point of what you is a photon, it's light. You know what I'm talking about? So when the frequency falls down, it slows down. You can't really see light. You see how it bounces off of things and affects things. You know what I'm saying? But when it's slowed down and it comes down to a lower frequency or whatever, you can see it. It's physical. It solidifies. Now you got this body. You feel what I'm talking about? That's what's going on. Because what you is at the highest point, you can't experience yourself in yourself. You gotta experience yourself like this, in a polytheistic fashion. And that's not the quote, polygamy or nothing like that or whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's two different things. Which, yeah, it's two different things. You know what I'm saying? It's, you know, y'all know what that is. But it's what I mean when I say that is to explain things many different ways, because there's many different aspects. It's not no one way to explain one thing. You know what I'm talking about? And a lot of people right now, even if they don't say it or whatever, truly what they mean when they be like, oh well, English is a form of a spell. You know what I'm talking about? Like it's a dead language. It's this is that or whatever. They gave us this language. You know what I'm talking about? This form of English or whatever, because all the other languages that we have for real, it was like you can have a pair of scissors, you can have an iPhone, you can have a bottle or whatever, and it would be like, what do you call that? You would have 4 or 5 different names for that item or whatever, giving an individual to be able to have more ideas, be more creative or whatever. You know what I'm talking about? Create more things or whatever. It gave to be able to create more concepts, to think more, basically. You know what I'm saying? Society don't teach you to give. It doesn't teach you to have that type of thinking capacity, you know, and that's why it's good to have or to learn different languages and all that stuff. Learning different languages can unlock different things inside of you, because we were taught in English. You know what I'm saying? If we was taught in English or whatever, that means our ego understands in English. You feel what I'm saying? So if we were dealing with, like, you know, spiritual mantras and stuff like that or whatever, you want to read them in English or whatever, right? But you truly want to just understand what it is and then get it in the form of the language that it's in or whatever, because your ego doesn't know what's really going on, and it acts as a sign and a symbol. And if you do it repetitively, it gets into your subconscious mind or whatever, and then it is what it is. It's a mandala. It's a what do you call that? A mantra and a mudra. You know, it's basically the same thing, but you saying the mantra. The mudra is like a thing that you do with your. It's like a symbol and sign that you do with your hands or whatever, like little energy points or whatever that you do to unlock certain things inside of your body, certain energy points, energy fields or whatever, or unlock certain chakras. You know what I'm saying? Or during different meditations or whatever. But they have mantras that you can say as well. So it's a mantra that you say, mudras that you do with your hands. You know, and when you do them, whatever, if you do them in a different language, it surpasses your ego or whatever and gets inside of your subconscious mind. And it's just the easier way to access it, basically, the energy. Yeah, man. Whoa. The Nigerian Bible, I gotta see that. I gotta see that. I need that. What it's talking about? Say, give my life to Christ, read the Bible. I read the Bible. This is what I get out of it. This is what I get out of it. You ain't gonna tell me how to get involved with God. You ain't gonna tell me how to come in contact with the almighty powerful one source. You're not gonna tell me. You ain't gonna tell me the right way how to do it. Cause listen, I come from a background that, man, you don't even understand. See, because being the person I am right now and elevating right now, it make me emotional to think about it. And I don't feel like crying right now. But let me just tell you this. I come from a real terrible background. Now, understand that we chose that to get to where we are. You feel what I'm saying? You can't never tell me to what do you call that? The right or the wrong way. You feel what I'm saying? Because what I chose, my early beginnings, my early life or whatever, you feel what I'm talking about, was given to me that way. And I dealt with that many lifetimes. So you got to understand who you is and go look back and see who you was. I've dealt with that. I seen what it done. It was more powerful then than it is now. You probably never get that understanding. But from my early childhood to who I am now, I utilized the knowledge, the studying, the information, the mythology, the sacred study, the mystery systems and all of that stuff or whatever. And I gained a form of awareness of who I am. And listen, it's the greatest thing that I could have ever done. It's the greatest thing I could have ever done. You're not gonna never tell me not to get involved what I'm getting involved in. He going crazy. Blicky boy can't be stopped. Blicky boy can't be stopped. Somebody stop him. Somebody stop him. He dropping too much knowledge. He dropping too much knowledge, y'all. Blicky boy dropping too much knowledge. I'm trying to tell y'all, man. He dropping too much knowledge. No. You can't never stop the knowledge. I'm just saying I had to point that out because I don't think they see you. We in the age of information. You know what I'm saying? The last, let's say, 40, 30 years, we've been given religions. Y'all crazy if y'all think we gonna keep on waiting on these. I don't want to say start your own religion, but start your own way of life. Because what is your way of life? Somebody told you, hey man, you fucking up. No. Because if you're a natural being, whatever you do is divine because it's all about the experience. You have to find the divinity inside of it. You know what I'm saying? You have to find the divinity inside whatever you're doing. And never let nobody tell you or deter you from what it is you need to do to achieve that illumination. Let's watch this. All enlightenment is, because there's a difference between illumination and enlightenment. We're trying to seek the illumination, just knowing. It was really knowing thyself. But enlightenment is all those little wild moments that you get. You know what I'm talking about? When you be like, I get it now. You're going to have all of them all throughout your life. Those are little awakening moments. You feel what I'm saying? Now, and that's what I meant earlier when I was like, when you go through these little channels and you get these little transmissions or whatever, right? How do you apply it to yourself? I got it now. It is enlightenment, right? But how am I going to apply it to myself? You probably already know it because I got it now. But we just it just gets pushed back in the back of our head because there's so much going on. You're supposed to have the tunnel vision on yourself. Somebody gonna tell you not to focus on yourself because somebody said it earlier, you will get lost. Watch this. You want to get lost in the world, or you want to get lost in yourself? You want to be lost in the world, a fake reality, a false reality that you truly don't know what's going on, or you want to be lost in yourself where you can only learn what what you want to learn, because whatever you do, you have to embrace because it's a part of yourself, and you have to reconstruct it because it's never going to go anywhere. So what I mean is you have power over that, and whatever you experience in the outside, right, it will be a version of that from what's going on inside of you. Because dealing with your chakras, I'm standing on everything it is that I know to be the truth because I looked inside of myself. So when I'm raising my vibration up and you raise your vibration up, can't nobody with a low vibration be by you, or you have to lower your vibration, because you can't raise them up. You got to lower your vibration to be around them. So this is why they say you're going to be lonely. It's going to be lonely. But then that's cool, because you go through that detoxification stage. You know what I'm talking about? So you start meeting other individuals. People, like I said the other day, people be having karmic debts or whatever. You got to repay. All types of stuff. You feel what I'm talking about? So you start meeting individuals that you need to be around to learn more things about yourself, because they're teaching you about yourself as well. Remember, when people be projecting, all they doing is projecting what's inside of themselves onto other people that they don't want to deal with personally. You know what I'm talking about? It definitely is. Earth definitely is. Hey, listen, Blicky boy, where's you getting this information at? Because it is. Where's you getting this at? Who is this guy? Who is this guy, man? Who is him? Because he him. But who is him? Where you came from? Where you came from, Scudder? I'm trying to tell you, man. Because he know. I read, look, I got a book called Lost Light by Alvin Van Boyd. And he talk about how where we living at right now literally represents what Blicky Boy just said. The dead. Not consciously, but actually physically, like that's what's going on right now. Because what you are is actually light. And this is supposed to be the excrement of the spiritual realm. You know what I'm talking about? So we the shit. What he say? I fasted for 99 days and prayed for 99. My dude fasted and he prayed. We talk about fasting and we talk about prayer, y'all. You feel what I'm saying? So all that stuff, man, I'm trying to tell you, all of it counts when you do it right. You know what I'm saying? Blicky Boy ain't coming here and say, yeah, I'm finna pray for you. Blicky Boy came here and said, I prayed 99 days and I fasted 99. God has no symbol or no name. We are just pure consciousness, and collectively. Yes. So why do all of these other spirits have names? They have names because we personalize them so we can access the attributes. The attributes are how we explain what we call God. God is the craziest thing to call ourselves. You feel what I'm talking about? Before God, it was primal chaos. Primal means first. Raw energy. You feel what I'm talking about? Chaos is before the existence of creation. You feel what I'm talking about? Those were the Titan beings. Raw elements of what's going on right now in nature. You feel what I'm saying? So to explain the lesser attributes, right, to that make up what that is, we personalize the different forms of nature, what we call gods and spirits and archetypes, and well, not archetypes, but angels and all that stuff, demons or whatever. So in reality, no, we have no name, because a name only comes from here. And to have a name will attach you here when it's time for you to actually transcend. You feel what I'm talking about?
That's crazy. What do those clown emojis mean? You must want to been to the circus. Transcend up the Kabbalah tree. Up the Kabbalah, I'm trying to tap into the what do you call that? Watch this. The black dot. You feel what I'm talking about? To get to the Kalipah. You feel me? To understand the Ein Sofer, Sophia, or what they be calling nine ether. This is the triple stages of darkness. They don't want to talk about that. They don't want to talk about that right there. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, y'all. It's scary to want to not to want to, but to even experience yourself without being aware of what's really going on. It's scary. But you gotta wanna experience it and wanna know yourself, right? I really don't even believe that you believe in that stuff when you come up here and be like, I'm finna pray for you, I'm finna do all that. You don't even believe in that. For real. You don't believe in that. You do it at the right moment. It's probably because it scared you. I saw this and it scared me right away. I got anxious. So I'm finna go ahead and just say I pray because maybe I'm gonna be cool. I said the right thing. If I would just let it go, maybe I would have been sinning or something. Maybe I would have been in the wrong. That's how y'all think? That's crazy. Say it's right or wrong, subjective. Anything that comes outside of your mind is subjective, right? But it does not matter to the individuals outside of you. It only matters to yourself. You feel what I'm talking about? You're not trying to impose your reality onto anybody else. You get what I'm saying? You're trying to gain a form of understanding of going on inside of the reality, inside of you, the reality inside of you. Because the reality of your dreams, or your subconscious mind or whatever, it shapes your actual waking reality. Right? So if you taking in anything that anybody is saying or society or whatever is saying or whatever, as opposed to what's going on inside of yourself or whatever, who's actually shaping your reality or whatever? You feel what I'm talking about? If somebody says this is right, this is wrong or whatever and all that stuff or whatever, and then you truly believe that and it becomes your reality or whatever, then that's just what it is. But let's just say you oppose that and you did this, that, and the third. It's cool if somebody else said that, but how do you truly feel about that and how is it shaping your life? That's the most important thing. As long as you're not trying to impose your reality on nobody else. You feel what I'm saying? That's not what you're trying to do. You're trying to make a conscious shift and a conscious impact on your subconscious mind. You feel what I'm talking about? You want to consciously do this. You feel me? Because your ego that we like to talk about is the center of your consciousness. Basically meaning they're the same thing, basically. You feel me? So we like to talk about the consciousness, this, that, and the third or whatever. But the true aspect of the self relies inside of your subconscious mind. It holds all your instincts and all that stuff. It controls 95, 96% of your bodily functions. You feel what I'm talking about? Your mannerisms, your instincts, it holds your memories, all of that stuff, whatever. Who you actually are. That's you. Conquer self. You know what I'm saying? That'd be the greatest achievement. The world, if you look at it as what we were fed it was, it's gonna constantly change. Right? That's what it looks like. It's gonna constantly be obstacles or whatever. Right? You gotta conquer yourself. You feel what I'm talking about? You gotta be able to, because you connected to this place. You got a body. Physical body's connected to this physical earth. So you gotta raise up your vibration. You gotta become in tune with nature and with the earth. So whatever is going on, you know what's going on. You are already in tune. You are already equipped and prepared to withstand whatever it is you need to withstand. Be it spiritually, be it physically, all of that. And if you truly are aware of what's going on right now, you will see. Now, I'm not playing. It's hot. Is it not? It's a physical reason. It's a spiritual reason. It's a physical reason as why it's hot. Everything comes from the physical. I'm trying to tell you. You gotta prepare, man. Or we're gonna sit around and wait for something else to save us. They spend a lot of knowledge in the comments, y'all. I don't think y'all witnessing this, but they spend a lot of knowledge in the comments. And I'm putting this video up on YouTube, and I hate that the comments not gonna be up there. But they spend a lot of information in there. Yeah, man. It's time to start dealing with the self-practice. Tell you to eat healthy, we know why. They tell you to work out or whatever, that don't mean go extreme, but we know why. They tell you to meditate, we know why. They tell you to find a practice, we know why. All of those things, we know what they do to us when we practice them. But we exercise in our mind. So it might be fun, or we have trials and tribulations, or whatever, all of that. But ultimately, we exercise in our mind. And then, you know, when you become really spiritual, they'd be like, oh, you really weird. I ain't trying to talk to you no more. That's cool. Those individuals are truly living in the spiritual realm. Like, you see them, but their awareness is somewhere else. That's where you want to go. That's how you want to be. That's how you want to live your life. But you want to do it by way of your own system. If that means utilize this spirit, utilize that energy, utilize that or whatever to understand an aspect that exists inside of you, right? That's what you got to do. Like, let's say I'm trying to get through, because they was talking about voodoo earlier. I'm trying to get through some gateways or whatever. Then you utilize the spirit of Legba, Papa Legba or Issue. You feel what I'm talking about? Which is a trickster spirit. But it's the god of the gateways, the god of the crossroads. You feel what I'm talking about? It's supposed to have all the keys to everything or whatever. So you utilize that energy as yourself to get where you need to go. It's that easy. We gotta understand what we chosen for. You know what I mean? I say we here to have an experience, right? I say because I'm thinking in terms of what do you call that in general. But when you ask me why are we chosen, you not talking about everybody else. You talking about the ones that's here, the ones that be dealing in this information. You know what I'm talking about? Because it's literally a distinction. So you got to figure out why you was chosen. Some people resonate on the same frequency in a collective form of a consciousness, right? This is why different realms are created in the astral plane. And then some people are individual, some people are not. You feel what I'm talking about? But ultimately, you got to figure it out what it is by way of being an individual. You got to go inside. And maybe somebody going to come and they reflect off that aware, like, yeah, I've been doing the same thing or whatever. And then, because it happens like that. But first, you got to go inside, though. You know, we not in a place where we ain't gonna be no church or nothing, you know what I'm talking about, we can go to and just sit up. That's not what's going on. That never really got us nowhere for real. You know what I'm saying? But even the slightest things, the little subtle things that happens when we dealing with this little magic or whatever, if I'm talking about, that's enough. That's enough to show you that the power lies within you. All you gotta do is keep on, you know what I'm talking about, going inside yourself and messing with that. You know what I'm saying? We put meaning. We definitely do. I feel like this ain't reality no more. I feel like there was a way in the beginning, you know what I'm talking about, in a more natural way of life. It was something like that, but now I don't see that anymore. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but that's what's going on right now. I ain't gonna lie to you. That's what's going on. I don't know. I'm not here to make nobody believe though. You know what I'm saying? I'm just here to share the information in the phase that we in. Information in the information age literally means the golden age. Somebody asked me earlier what Hinduism, this age they call it like the Kali Siyata or something, Sayuta or whatever, but that means the golden age though. And we just left the dark ages. You feel what I'm talking about? You have a Hindu group, a cult group called the Thuggis, and the goddess that they worship was Kali. So what that mean? All of the thugs, all of the criminal stuff, all that, because it just don't mean thugs like that. It mean everybody, all that stuff that was going on back in the day, you feel what I'm talking about, before this conscious shift or whatever, needed to go down. That's why all that stuff ain't happening right now. You feel what I'm talking about? But we can't be looking at the people that's still doing it, because it is going to be some people that's still doing it, because we're in the early phases of the golden age. But that's what the Hinduism is saying. Kali Ma, yeah, you know what I'm talking about? Kali Ma, the goddess that sits outside the circles of time, the goddess that the entity death is actually scared of. You feel what I'm talking about? The consort, or one of the consorts of Shiva, you feel what I'm talking about, is a real vicious entity or energy when you're dealing with that energy. But as far as symbolism goes, she supposed to, like, when she got a chain full of heads or whatever, those heads represents the different consciousness. You feel what I'm talking about? Or the different aspects of ego. And that's what she doing. You feel what I'm talking about? Via, or i.e. us, when we spitting this knowledge or whatever in this age. That's what's going on. You shift with that. You know what I'm talking about? So you had an age where all that needed to be happening. People were scamming, robbing, doing all that other crazy stuff. You feel what I'm talking about? Now, yeah, it's still going on, and you got, and if you feel like it shouldn't be, then that's a reason why. But if there's other people that still, you know what I'm saying, doing what they do and all the other extra stuff or whatever, maybe it's a reason why. But you see what's going on for real. You just got to continue to do what you need to be doing, meaning going inside yourself. Because this golden age is not finna be no one leader, no this, no that. You feel what I'm talking about? If it was gonna be a one leader, trust me, the quote-unquote elite would have got to him already. This is why they doing us how they do us. All of us possesses the ability to be what they call a messiah, because that's the ultimate goal. When you go inside of yourself, that's what it is. If an individual can look at you like that, oh, woo, this is Messiah, whatever. You feel what I'm talking about? You can go inside yourself and get that same energy. That's not what it's about. It's about going within and finding that confidence inside of yourself, to be able to trust yourself, to be able to project your truth, to be able to project your truth in a way to where to shape your life in a way that how you want it. Not how the world is set up to where it's supposed to be. Oh, it's like this, so this is what it is. No, I don't want it like this, so I'm going to make that change. You know what I'm saying? That's all. But listen, y'all. I'm damn near finna get up off of here. Y'all spend a lot of information on here. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. You know what I'm saying? But I think this was a decent little discussion though, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Mind you, I only put this up here to weed out the weak. I only put this out here to weed out the weak-minded. If you, in 2023, you can't have a conversation, about information and hold what are your beliefs, and you know what I'm saying, you can't sit and stop and not project it onto people or whatever, that shows me who you are. So I put that up there because I know they're going to be like, well, I'm finna do this, I'm finna do that, I'm finna do this. You will give your energy up. Ah, look. Got him. Ah. Got him. Ah, we got him. Look. They come. When you listen, you see how magnetic I am? That's magic. That's the same thing that you fear. When I get to talking about you, you come. Y'all already knew I called y'all. And you gonna probably stay and have this discussion with me. But we ain't finna have this discussion because I'm finna get off here. It's not about scaring nobody. That's the last thing I want to do. See, I used to be a thug. And I understood you can't scare nobody because if you scare somebody, they gonna do something to you. You feel what I'm talking about? No, it ain't about that. I just know that with this Baphomet up here, whatever you believe it is, I know if I put this up here, y'all gonna come. That's magic. I know that. My intention is to have you come up here and say something to me about this so I can explain what it truly is or what I feel like it truly is or whatever, right? And it happens how it happens. How is that scaring you? That's science. That's crazy. I don't want to have this conversation with a bully. It is Satan. Because listen, you have Saturn and you have Set. But before Saturn, right, which was Chronos, you have Set, which is the same thing, but I'm talking about different mythologies or whatever, right? Set is a primordial god that comes from Tiamat. Set, astronomical's position in the sky is supposed to be what do you call that? Sirius, the star system, the dog. Anytime you look in Egyptian mythology, you will see a primordial dog, and that'd be like, oh, that's just the primordial god. But that's Set. Set or Sut or Sutek is the black substance. You know what I'm talking about? So when we saying Sut on, we talking about the black god, the primordial god. Sut on Saturn. You feel what I'm saying? And then later day, you get Satan. But even still, it still resonates. Because who is Satan supposed to be? Satan's supposed to be Lucifer, right? That's the light bearer, the bearer of light, the bringer of light. Or understand this, in the Bible, right? How do they explain God? They explain God, if you understood this, through the angels. Lucifer is supposed to be the most prettiest God, so that means that's the most prettiest angel. An angel was an angle of light. This means this is the face of God, an attribute. You feel what I'm talking about? Michael, he who dares to be God, things like that. You feel what I'm saying? I'm telling you. So, yeah, you're right in a way, but when you look at it like that, when you run from an aspect of yourself, you know what I'm talking about? When you're running from an aspect of yourself and running towards another aspect of yourself, you would never get there. You got to sit in the middle and let it come to you, and then sift out the quote unquote bad and the good that doesn't correlate with what you're trying to do in life. That's how you got to do it. You don't let nobody else do it for you. This ain't school. You was taught that in school. Everybody was gonna do it for you. You thought everybody was gonna do it for you. Ain't nobody finna do it for you. It's not. It is the face of God. You can't help. Listen, you can't take that because it is. It's crazy, ain't it? It's crazy. You ain't like that. It is. Hey, you hear me? Hey, Jesus and the devil the same. Jesus and the devil the same thing, and you don't like that. Listen, if Jesus is the ultimate thing in the Bible, like the ultimate good, and the devil is the ultimate bad, they are one and the same. That's how dualism work. Hey, but you wasn't told that. And there's a lot of people that don't believe that, but that don't matter because what it's doing for you? Nothing. It's probably filling their pockets up. You probably go in there and pay that little thing, and you don't want to do it. And why you don't want to do it? Because you know you should be if you believe in that. But no, I gotta pay bills. But maybe if I just put this little $100 inside this little thing or whatever, maybe I'm gonna get something back. I ain't getting nothing back. And I just got fired from my job. I'm just saying. I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying. But then look, right? Then look. You remember my grandma? Why my grandma used to always be sweeping coins up under the rug, up under the bed, up under the couch and stuff like that. Because I used to go up under there and take them things. My grandma used to do that because that was a form of hoodoo. When you do that, right, you keep the coins, because the coins is something that we symbolically put on the altar for the spirit or whatever, and it's natural, it's made out of natural elements or whatever. It brings in wealth because of what it symbolizes. You feel what I'm talking about? Or why did my grandparents or my parents or whatever used to throw like coins out on the road or whatever? Because it brought in wealth and it brought in good luck and abundance, stuff like that. Look, early things that our people used to do back in the day. You know what I'm saying? A little something. You feel me? Mind you, it's a difference between that and that other thing. It's a lot of symbolism inside that. That's all I'm saying though, you feel me? You gotta understand that life ain't built off that. You know what I'm saying? You ain't come out your father. Stop doing that. Stop doing that. You ain't come out your father. You came out your mother and your father. You feel what I'm talking about? You came out your mother, but it took both of them. It took both of the sparks to come together to create you. You feel me? And watch this. Every movie, every video game, every book, every system, every story has to happen like that. There's love involved, right? There's two individuals involved. The love interest, this, that, and the third. There's the good and there's the bad. There always has to be the hero and there's always has to be the villain. And we like the villain, but we know he gonna lose. We like him anyway. We don't even be liking the heroes, but we know we gotta like them because psychologically that's what we was taught. You feel what I'm saying? I'm trying to tell you. Understand it's all aspects of yourself. That's what I'm trying to get at. Damn, you still talking? Don't nobody even know what you talk about. I ain't gonna lie to you. Don't nobody know what you talk about. Telling you. And watch this. I bet you can't play the quiet game. I bet you can't play the quiet game. I bet you can't. This dude hating on the count. No, man, I'm being funny. I'm being funny, man. So we can't joke? Listen, you don't even have a name. What is I'm hating on? You could be something else in there. I don't even know who you are. What are you talking about? I can't even joke on my own life. This is the stuff I'm talking about. I can't study no knowledge. I can't joke. I can't even speak. That's crazy. That's the life we live in. Who is I'm dissing? I'm scared of y'all. I ain't gonna lie to y'all, man. Because y'all, I can feel it. I can feel the energy. I can feel the animosity. It's Friday, y'all. I know y'all got paid today. I know y'all hit y'all little plug up. I know y'all got some things to do. And y'all on here talking about some I'm hating and who is I'm dissing. Nobody. If you can believe it, I love all y'all. But you ain't gonna believe that. Because probably to you I'm not a good person. But what's a good person? I had a, what do you call that? They be like a bad childhood, a bad little life or whatever. I feel like those individuals really be taking their stuff out, like taking their issues out on people. I don't be doing that. I swear I don't want to do that. I literally isolate myself. So I just find it weird. I don't know. Maybe it's me. But that's how I joke though. I joke like I'm blunt when I be joking. You feel what I'm talking about? So you can't just take it serious. You feel what I'm saying? It don't matter if you agree with me or not. You can't just take it serious is what I'm saying. Don't take it serious is what I'm saying. Feel me? Cause listen, I lived an angry life. And it's not the way to go. I lived an angry life. I'm talking about hawk angry. You know what I'm saying? I done had a stroke, all type of shit. I was like 23, I had a stroke. Going through it. I healed myself. I literally healed myself. I went to the hospital and they didn't do nothing. And I got up and I left. And from then I just started getting myself together. But that dealt with a lot of me being angry. You know what I'm talking about? And what I'm angry at. Ain't nobody for me to be angry at but myself. I ain't gonna lie to you. What I was gonna do when nobody be angry at but myself. Even, you know what I'm saying, even if it would have looked like, you know what I'm talking about, it came from somebody else, I always understood it was personal issues, self issues, you know what I'm talking about? I had to deal with that. I'm trying to tell y'all, man. Well, look, y'all, I don't get into Satanism, but I study a little bit of everything. And my challenge in life is to understand myself. And that's my ultimate goal. That's it, that's all. That's it. The reason why I be saying what I be saying, cause I just think it's funny. Like, you know, you will see something, and I know you don't understand it, because we can't have no conversation. Like, somebody be like, why you worship Satan? I be like, I don't worship Satan. Then they come in again like this, why you worship Satan? Scud, I just told you I don't worship Satan. You don't like, what, you don't believe me or something? But you see that symbol right there, you can check your eyes off that symbol. You know what it's doing to you? Telling you, man. Go ahead on. Satan can't sneeze. I don't know what that word means. Oh, without God's permission? What are you talking about? You really think it's two individuals fighting for over our souls, huh? Satan gotta be powerful if he like that. If God got y'all like that, and Satan he ain't with God or whatever, he gotta be he gotta be powerful, because God ain't touched him yet. Now I don't believe in that, but listen, this is a reason why I ain't messing with it. If God powerful and all this or whatever, like this is how y'all said it, whatever y'all put it or whatever, because you thinking of it like two people, and God got y'all like this, and he ain't touched Satan, he can't be that bad. You feel what I'm saying? Because Satan messing with his whole creation. You feel what I'm talking about? Satan messing with his whole creation. He waiting for him to step. Waiting for Jesus to come back, so he can do it again. Because you know he was involved with all that with the Romans, right? He was involved with Jesus, right? Doing all that. That's what he's involved for. Or was it God that was involved in that sent his little son for that to happen to him? I'm not sending my son nowhere like that. That's over with. You feel what I'm saying? That's crazy. But you know what I'm saying? We is talking about a God that was like, what's doing that? Hey, listen, dude. Your kid's finna die. Whoop, they get up out of there. It's cool though. I got you though. I'm finna take your wife too. Be smooth though. I got you though. I'm finna take everything you own. Everything, your skin and all that. You feel what I'm saying? And then I'm gonna give you everything just to see if you ride with me, Joe. I'm allow this dude that I've been trying to get at this entire time to do this to you. I'm trying to get at this man right now. I'm trying to get this man. I'm trying to get him. You know what I'm talking about? Because he rebellious. I'm trying to get him. He took a third or whatever, fourth or fifth of my congregation of angels. He took all out of the heavens. I'm trying to get him. And he slide up on me and talking about, listen, I see Job down there. He worshiping you real good. You feel what I'm talking about? I'm finna go ahead and take everything from him. You feel what I'm saying? Watch. I bet you he build billions. Okay, cool. Y'all like the story of him being not being rebellious and him worshiping him, right? But how does that sound? How does that sound? He allowed that to happen. No, I ain't gonna lie. After realizing what the Bible was, and who do these people? I understand, man. How does that sound? How do that sound? You feel me? Look. So we chilling. I created a whole little empire. Feel me? I'm the high and mighty. Then one of my little creations or whatever, this little pretty little thing right here, because you know, they say Lucifer's supposed to be the most beautiful angel. So this little pretty faced little dude, he come through here, he's like, I'm finna take over your spot. And I'm taking all over the angels. What the bam? So since the beginning, you've been at this guy. You want to allow this guy to keep on messing with your creation? Even though y'all fighting over the soul of y'all creation? You want to allow it just to see, just for props. That's what he did. It's not arguments. This is what made me not want to, It's not arguments. Why am I arguing you? Why am I arguing with you with something that freed my mind from what I feel like is a trick? It's not an argument. I'm be stuck with you going down a loop. You probably seen some lectures, and by lectures I mean debates on YouTube, right? And you think that's what it's about, us debating. The ancients never debated none of this information. Show me a debate in ancient history. In an ancient history, mystery systems, not no religion. You won't be able to bring it up. That's not what we dealt with. We didn't deal with that. We not debating and arguing with something that's all is one. That's crazy. We ain't got time to be doing that. It's frivolous. What are you talking about? Too much time on my hands to be sitting here, watch the bim, blase skipping with you. You feel me? Telling you. I'm telling you. Well, every time they don't want to argue, they want to do out the band, they want to do, I have this, that, and the third. What you have is a set of quote-unquote understandings that you believe to be the truth, your truth, and hopefully, I do mean this, hopefully it's working out for you. That's what you have, and you're ready to put that up against what somebody else has that's working for them. You feel what I'm talking about? That's not what it's about. You need to be utilizing that to get to the highest point of who you are and adding on whatever you can to expound on that. You feel what I'm talking about? Because watch this. Because this, like I said, I hope it is, because this is working out for you, you done already stepped inside this environment with the belief of, I can't learn anything else. I don't do that. You come into whatever, I don't want to learn anything else. When you want to debate, that's why you never debate anything. You just want to, it's information. All you're doing is sharing information. What is we arguing about? Stop it. It's frivolous. It's frivolous. Telling you, man. And you know what? And y'all really want a peaceful world and a balanced world. How we gonna have that if you can't respect the next individual? How? It don't matter what you was told when you was younger. You know what I'm saying? Because I've been told so much. You know, you go to church and you've been told something and you know a certain type of way, but you see right outside of church, a lot of things be going on. You be like, it's different, but it's cool because what you believe, and they push it in society, and that's fine. But nowhere in the time of your life do you sit down and pick it up and just try to read it and try to gain a better understanding, your own understanding. No, we want to argue with what works for the next individual. But what's going on with him and her and her and her? Sometimes when we look at ourselves, these are issues that we have, things that we don't like in other people, or things we don't like about other things, because we haven't dealt with certain situations inside of ourselves. Shadow. Dealing with your shadow. You don't know what's inside of my shadow. I don't. You don't either, because it lies unconscious, and you live in a life of a lie. Might as well be an NPC, a program. That's funny to call people that, right? But when you actually play video games, which I do, these things are mindless. The whole program of the game, they're supposed to just work, this, that, and the third. They don't even go to work. They just walk around. Most people just walk around. Life is happening to me. Everything is just happening to me. Why is this happening to me? Why is this happening to me? No, you happening to life. How I know you happen to life? Because somebody can go inside of their mind, create an invention, and it impacts the world. You happen into life. And then while we creating all these structures and all that stuff, whatever, nature has to live with that, because nature still lives on. We really can't get rid of nature. We're supposed to still have that. Why? You need oxygen, for sure, for sure. We ain't even got to go too deep with that. You need oxygen. So you got to find a way to coexist. But it impacts the world in a way to where it's different. You live different. Now you can do that on a semi-scale in your life. You should be able to do that. You should be doing that. That's all I'm trying to say. Man, Joe. Hey, listen, tonight, it's been a real good night. We got some knowledge out there. There's definitely some conscious people in the comments. You know what I'm saying? As well as some ignorant people. But you know what? It's all a part of this one great thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm finna slide up off of here. I'm not finna read the Bible because I read the Bible. I read it. You gotta read it. You know what I'm saying? Never mind. They're gonna pull me down. But look, y'all be safe out here, man. The Antichrist is coming. It is. And is. And do you know what it looks like? Huh? Do you know what it looked like? Come to Jesus while you have time. I don't have no time because the Antichrist is near. The Antichrist is near. Yup. All of them gonna be in the flesh. Yup. It's gonna be like that. It happened in the Revelations. And they're gonna be carrying the mark of the beast, 666. 6 protons, 6 electrons, 6 neutrons. Bro, I'm telling you, man. Hey, but look, finna get up out of here, man. Y'all be safe. That's why the government bring aliens up. Nah. All be safe. And have a good one though. You know what I'm saying? Alright, Shay, I love you too. Be safe, be safe. Listen, I don't know, cause it's like 10. I might get up here. I might get up here again. You feel what I'm saying? But you know, I don't know. Y'all have a, you know what I'm saying? Y'all do y'all It's Friday. You feel me talking about? Y'all supposed to be kicking it, doing y'all thing. You know what I'm saying? People, they gonna keep on coming out. I'm gonna keep on putting it up there because that really be protecting. I don't know why they stay for so long. But y'all be safe. You know what I'm saying? I gotta go outside and get some of this nature, man. It's nighttime out here. It's busting outside. Peace.